As soon as we all got up to leave, I stood up and I leaned back and like arched my crotch towards the camera. But like, I'm not wearing any underwear.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Spaghetti and Meat Boys podcast, the only podcast that's this side of the Mississippi. Which side, you ask? Well, I can't tell you that. That's for you to find out, you brave and noble adventurer. Eureka. I, of course, am your host, the famed explorer.
I was going to do that too.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But I, of course, am your host, the famed explorer, Ponce DeLorean, who both discovered and cured syphilis in the same time travel escapade. With me, as always, are my two lovely co-hosts. Up to your top left, sporting the Pride Month background, we have...
Well, it might not be the top left.
Yeah, I'm going to be
the top right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Trash.
I'm flubbing it already. But up, joining me as my co-host up to the top right, sporting the Pride Month background, is the ever so elusive fifth cardinal direction, Quilth. And then to the bottom is the other co-host, who is just as imaginary, but more mathematically provable, Ian, except the I in his name represents the square root of -1. So how you boys doing today?
Very
I
good.
didn't like the rest of it, but the quilth was good.
The quilth?
Yeah,
Yeah,
quilth.
no, I say I never write the good jokes for Ian because, he's just less of a person.
I don't deserve. I'll start writing for myself. I'll send you some scripts.
So how you guys
doing good,
doing though? Yeah.
Good.
Doing good. It's been a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've just been craving to be back.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I have as well. I know you were kind of joking in that one, but I've been looking forward to this one for a hot minute. So.
Yeah, me too. Well, I only watched the movies last night, but
I
I
finished.
was still.
I finished Tokyo Godfathers like 2 hours ago.
Fresh in the mind. That's
so
good.
you guys both have, but you guys both have 9 to 5 jobs. I had
7 to 5.
7 to 5. Ooh la la! Somebody's
it's
a
totally
slave
worth
to
No.
capitalism.
4-day work week, 10 hours, and you get a 3-day weekend. Absolutely worth it. Totally worth it.
Fair enough. You lost me at work. But no, my excuse was I've been editing all the bullshit from beforehand.
Sure.
So I also watched the first one last night and then the second one today. But yeah, so for anyone who is new, we're doing a 30-team anime bracket going head-to-head to prove who is the weebiest anime movie of all. Weebiest is a vague adjective. Or is that an adjective?
It's meant to be used in
weebiest
relation.
is.
Yeah, weebiest adjective, yes.
Meant to be used
and for
in
those of you who are
relation to
returning,
Naruto 3.
yes, Naruto 3, Jared's favorite movie. But for those of you who are back returning for this third episode, thanks so much. It means a lot, even though, all we talk about is anime films. But I hope you like it, because we got a lot more to go. If you haven't seen the first 2 episodes, you're one of the new people, go back and watch them, because I'm about to spoil, I guess, which 2 moved on. But as we know, we're on round 3. Last week, we had done Spirited Away versus Angel's Egg, and we ended up moving on with Spirited Away. And as you guys know, the first week, we had Mirai over Grave of the Fireflies. So this week, we got 2 fantastic films. All films are fantastic.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I was trying to say something nice, but yeah, that's not true.
No.
At all.
No.
Yeah,
but
food
anyway,
fight set the
Most
bar
movies aren't very
so
good.
high.
Yeah, it did.
definitely said. Food fight with Hilary Duff and Charlie Sheen. That's pure
I
cinema.
forgot about Hilary Duff.
Yeah.
Who was she again?
How, dude? She was the girlfriend in Food Fight.
The one who's gone
one
for
that
like 80% of the movie.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
like
it's the one who was-
95% of the movie. She's in
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
scene and the last scene.
She's the driving force.
Well, no, she comes back in like dream sequences, I think.
Yes. But she's the driving... Why are we breaking down...
Why aren't we
Food
breaking
Fight.
down Food Fight?
Because that's
Well,
that's a tier 1 podcast right there.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
entirely. I mean, when... Actually, did you guys know when Martin Scorsese saw the film, his eyebrows just leapt off of his face. Just,
As they normally do.
no, dude.
When he goes to sleep, he takes them off by his bedside, right?
Yes. So what had happened is he put them back on, but they also regrew, and so that's why he has the big eyebrows now.
Oh.
That's a true fact that I made up.
It's like chest hair.
Yeah. I think the properties of chest hair are very similar to that of other body hair.
No. Chest hair, you shave it grows back even bushier.
That's all hair.
That's how all hair works.
Yeah, all hair.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You don't understand. You don't understand.
None of us are hairologists. So
Perhaps the poop that's mixed in with your hair makes it grow faster, but
It's fertilizer, yeah.
oh god. But anyway, two movies this week. There's two fantastic movies that I've been ramping up, building the hype for over the past 27 seconds.
Yeah.
As the 2003 Satoshi Kon film Tokyo Godfathers versus the 2012 film by Mamoru Hosoda, Wolf Children. So these are two tonally, like normal, very different films. Subject matter pretty different, but they do have a few things in common. Most obviously, when I crafted this bracket, going by plot descriptions or what I knew about the films alone, but most obviously, it's somebody struggling to raise children in dire circumstances.
like
I guess-
Dire Wolf. Oh, that's good.
Hey.
Yeah. I didn't know you played D&D.
Dire Docs, dude. Absolute
I don't know what
best
that
song.
means.
You never it's a song from fucking Dire Docs.
Mm-hmm.
It's the game. Isn't it the
Mhm.
the Mario 64?
Dude, nobody knows the names to Mario songs. You got to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want this monetized.
Alright,
Mario
I'm gonna
Super
go-
Mario
Just play
Sunshine?
it.
I'm gonna play a brief few seconds of it if I can find it, because now I'm wondering if I was even right. Is it from the Mario 64? Dire
Mario 64. I guess there's
Yes,
docs
yeah.
in Mario 64.
Yeah.
A game
Dire
which I've never
Docs.
played. That
Shit.
should be our theme song.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure Nintendo will be cool with it.
Oh fuck no, dude. Absolutely, like the so I Am Hair has not gotten claimed for the intro or outro, but the intermission song Daybreak,
Oh, you're right. It did get.
Oh,
claimed.
yeah.
it got claimed. So I know I mentioned that on the last episode. I was like, don't quote me on that. Yeah. So
Well, I Am Hair is never getting claimed.
like
You
yeah.
also added,
Well-
didn't you add like a couple sound effects within the I Am Here? Like at least the intro, right? It sounded like it.
Yeah, some like little stuff. Yeah, but like all
No,
the
not
songs that I
you.
used.
No.
Oh,
not
you
you.
added to.
You.
I
It
did
sounded
not.
like-
No. The only thing is the song fades out while we fade in. But other than that, but that happens with Daybreak as well. Yeah, no, I
still
just
haven't heard that.
assumed because it was like a small label that he was signed to that they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
It was immediate.
Damn.
Immediate. Like it was not done processing. Like I haven't uploaded it yet. It's just sitting in the channel because I'm waiting until I start working on the second one to drop it.
Yeah, man. Small companies are just big companies with not as much money.
That's true.
Dude, that's the fucking truest thing you've ever said in your life.
Yeah.
That's
Anybody who owns a small business and shits on big companies is truly just envious.
Oh, dude, for sure, dude. All of you tiny little Bezoses,
And Musk's.
you little
They're definitely
musks.
a little musky.
You call them muskrats. Muskrats.
Mosquitoes.
What movie?
But yeah. What? What were you saying?
So
What movies did we
mov-
watch today?
What movies? So Bionicle Mask of Light. No. So first,
Dude, can we though?
I mean,
Wow.
I got it right. No, this is clearly the worst
That would-
Bionicle film of all the
Oh,
Bionicle
really?
films. The first movie is Tokyo Godfathers, better known for its subtitle, a Rashomon holiday special, a very merry Rashomon holiday special.
I see
So it's
why.
a 2000
I got that. Literally
You
at the
got that
beginning,
vibe?
I was like, this kind of reminds me of Rashomon. I didn't know that was a
for
subtitle.
one, max 2 elements, but I can't even
Yeah.
hate though, because like that's how I built this whole bracket.
Really?
Yes, by picking up very arbitrary details from multiple films and being like, these should go together.
Good job.
Like, I paired these two together, and I'd never seen either of them. So,
It worked out.
yeah, it did work out. But anyway, so Tokyo Godfathers, 2003, Satoshi Kon film. I think it's one of his later films. Is a story of 3 homeless people living in Japan. We have Jin, kind of an all grumpy old man who is a chronic gambler and a liar. We have Hana, a trans woman who is kind of religious and very optimistic. And then we have Miyuki, who is a young girl who's running away from her past life and is kind of too young to be living the homeless life, is kind of what all the other homeless people in her community think of her. But they, one Christmas or Christmas Eve, stumble upon a abandoned baby with a note that says to take care of this child. And when they are debating on what to do with it, Hana becomes attached to the baby, and they decide that instead of taking it straight to the police, they decide to search for its lost mother, at least to ask her why, and figure out like why she had abandoned this child and see if they can find a better home for her. So yeah, that's a pretty brief synopsis. It spans from kind of Christmas Eve to Christmas all the way to New Year's Day is when it ends. So it's a small adventure. Super funny. That was the first
Great.
thing. I was
Yeah.
like,
I was about to say the shenaniganry was
It was awesome. Yeah.
classic
Felt like,
hijinks.
it felt like Oh Brother Where Art Thou, just like a slew of things, like a plane,
trio
trains, and
of
automobiles
people.
kind of
So,
thing.
yeah.
An Odyssey, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bunch of big casted characters and stuff like that
An
come in
Odyssey.
and go.
Yeah, I like that term, an Odyssey. I was gonna say a comedy of errors, but it's really not. It's really not
No,
always
yeah.
a comedy of errors. But I like that as like a little odyssey or a little adventure. But yeah, so it was a first time watch for me. What about you guys?
Yeah, definitely a first time
Same.
watch for me. Yeah.
Awesome. So we should just go like we normally do and get some initial reactions from you guys.
Okay.
So I guess I'll start with you, Ian.
Awesome. I really like Tokyo Godfathers.
Hell yeah.
The most thing I like the most about it is how it's sort of a rare movie. I feel, I guess with maybe just movies that I watch, but it was one of those rare movies where it's like an it's a little complicated, but like the tone doesn't make you feel complicated, but an uncomplicated, heartwarming, like nice little happy ending. Right? I felt
Yeah.
like although it was sort of, it deals with like the most sort of difficult topics in the world, like homelessness, and there's suicide and attempted patricide, and there's abandoned babies.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
By the way, if you're watching this, we're gonna spoil the hell out of
Yes.
it.
It has a
Attempted
heartwarming
patricide,
ending. Yeah.
Bro,
Well, it's in hindsight. It's a flashback. It's not relevant. It's not
Yeah.
anyway.
I'm kidding.
And all those
Say
kinds
it's in
of sort of
hindsight.
it's a flashback when the guy, the patricide, attempted patricide.
Oh, patricide. I
Patricide,
was
not
thinking
like
infanticide.
infanticide.
Infanticide,
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
My
no,
bad,
no.
my bad.
Patricide, father murder. No, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, attempted
Sorry.
infanticide as well. But at the end of the day, like the tone of the movie doesn't like is still nice and joyful, and that's one thing I really liked about it. And it is really like it really is an adventure, like you said. It's just a straight up, not necessarily going from one place to another, but just like on a mission. People come, people go, and it was just exciting and captivating the whole time. I liked it a lot, although it did not move me, in like a way like our next movie sort of did. It definitely was like I came out of like, that was really, I can't think of a lot that's wrong with it.
Cool. What about you, Jarrett? What are your initial thoughts?
I wholeheartedly agree, Ian. I love the tone. The whole time was just great. like I already said, very Odyssey-esque. I point to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou just because it's a little more heavy on the comedic side. Very much enjoyed myself, and my 2 starred notes are I loved that, and I love that it was continuous throughout the whole movie. Whenever Hana, like, just everything stopped, and then she would just start saying a haiku, and it would just, like...
Yeah. But that was nice. Like, they weren't bad
It was-
haikus.
it was
fantastic.
Yeah.
It was both funny and also wholesome as fuck. Like, it was
Yes,
so good. I loved it. The music was fantastic. I loved, especially the Baroque parts, where it was just sort of like the strings and sort of like the almost like a waltzy feel,
Yeah.
and then you had certain sections like where it was like this weird kind of, I don't want to say electro, but it's almost like an industrial kind of feel. I don't know. The music was fantastic. The whole time
Yeah.
I was bopping.
Yeah.
Interesting point about the music, and it's something that I find interesting. The reason he used Baroque is because his characters were flat Baroque the whole fucking time.
Nice.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'll be here all
We
next
should
2
cut it there.
hours.
That's probably as good as it's gonna get.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening so much. We'll see you next time.
Hair.
I'm glad that you guys felt the same way. Man, we probably should have picked some more divisive
Well,
movies
I think
to
we may.
do.
It might be divisive at the end.
The farther we go, but so
I
far
know
these
where-
3
yeah,
episodes we've all
yeah.
been like, hell yeah, dude. We all agree with each other because we're
Yeah.
all bros.
What do you mean? We've only had one sweep.
The only reason last week's wasn't
Last
a sweep
week.
is
That
because
was a courtesy
I-
sweep.
it was a Curtis. Or,
I don't
well,
know.
It wasn't
No,
a
no, I
courtesy.
feel- I
It was a
like it was
pity
no,
sweep.
I feel
No,
like
it wasn't
you
a sweep.
would have voted, yeah.
I picked Angel's Egg last week, but I only did it because you guys had both already picked Spirited
No.
Away, and I was like, I can't pick against Spirited Away.
No, sex
would
god,
like to pick-
own up to it. You like Angel's Egg more. It's okay. It's okay.
It's not okay. But
Do I
it's
like Angel's
happened.
Egg more? Hell no. I love Spirited Away with my entire being. I would die for Spirited Away. Spirited Away is like my own 10-year-old child that gets transported.
Doesn't
to,
have a
like,
name.
I don't
that
know,
you
a
can
magical
remember.
world.
Yeah.
No, dude, what am I, Ian?
What's the burn there?
Because you tried
You
to
don't
give a
even
plot
remember
synopsis
you don't
last
even
week.
remember
Oh
this,
yeah.
man.
No,
Oh
I remember
my
that
God.
part. I
He
remember
doesn't
that
even
part.
remember him flubbing, not remembering their names. Oh my
No,
god.
I still don't remember their names. I was about to call. I remember Hana's name because I remember that there's two
oh,
mothers and there's a mother in both film named Hana.
Yes, I was gonna mention that. I thought that was interesting that they're
Yeah,
both
yeah.
named Hana.
Mhm.
That was not intentional when I picked these 2 movies to get paired.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah,
the second
sure
week
he
in a
wasn't
row.
Good.
This is the second week in a
Sure.
row where I dead ass. I had never seen these before.
That's what he did. He looked at Wikipedia. He saw Hana. These
Nope.
two go together. He moved on. Don't lie.
I did not. I swear on my life, I did not. I picked them solely for the whole taking care of children in kind of a non-ideal situation. That was why I picked them. So the fact that both their names were Hana, that's less important than like the incidental coincidences or dual themes from last week. Like this one, it's just like,
Yes.
oh, cool nugget. But
Yeah.
I was really happy when I started watching Tokyo Godfathers today, and I was like, hell yeah, I did it again.
Congratulations.
I do agree with you guys as far as initial reactions go. It was just a fun time, man. And I think it's got a bunch of like heavy themes, like you were talking about, Ian.
Yeah.
But at its heart, and I don't want to say this entirely, but it's just a Christmas movie, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
like not actually, but it just has that feeling. It has that just like
Yeah.
wholesomeness of a
I never thought about that. That's a good point.
of a Christmas film or a holiday film. And I mean,
I
even with
agree,
the
yeah.
ending, when you were like, the ending was so,
Yeah,
happy.
Just like
it was
everybody-
magic,
yeah.
dude. It was straight
Yeah.
up God. What? But it's the whole fucking entire city of New York singing, so Santa will show up or something. Like
Mhm.
it was, these people risking their lives for a magic baby. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. From here, as far as plot goes, so we've done a little plot synopsis in our initial reactions. Does anyone have just things that stood out, I guess, in this film? Because I think we can move a little bit faster through these than we have been these past 2 weeks. But
Yeah. Hana's
they don't feel as deep as the other ones.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Hana's recurrent line, shit I'll take, but fart I
Fart.
won't.
I want.
Dude, that shit
That's
was
lovely.
so
yeah.
funny.
No,
It's
no,
so funny.
Actually, and we pirated the film, or I pirated the film.
Whoa. I
fuck
didn't.
it.
No,
It was
I
rated
didn't.
R.
You did. Where did you watch it?
Google Drive.
That's pirated, dude.
No,
I
it would
fucking-
no. Movies are free on Google Drive, dude.
Movies are not free on Google Drive.
Yes,
I
they
doubt-
are, dude. Come on, you know this. You uploaded them. You know they're free.
Okay.
He's
joking. He's joking.
He's
I
a
didn't
s-
pirate
yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't pirate. I pirated it, and I uploaded it to a Google Drive, and no one else has been complicit at all. But anyway, so we had the old the original English subtitles for the Japanese version, but it did get G Kids picked it up. So G Kids has pretty much every Ghibli movie, every Satoshi Kon movie. I think a lot of Shinkai movies as well. G Kids has a lot, but their updated dubs apparently, that line is translated into English: "Shit I'll take, but pops I won't."
Oh, that's
So it
a
makes it
weird
more of like a-
mistranslation.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was a mistranslation. I think it might have been, and I could be wrong here because I'm not a linguist, but in Japanese it might have been a male gendered insult that sets her off.
Oh, pops. Oh, I was thinking
Pops, yeah.
age-wise. I thought they were like, you're old.
It might be old, but I thought it was more maybe a combination, just being
Yeah.
an old man.
'Cause
Though.
you-
It's not just old.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
so.
As
But
much as that
especially-
aligns with her character, the fart thing is way too funny. I'm gonna.
No, yeah.
In my head canon, it's fart.
Yes, I was laughing at that. I incidentally stumbled across that. I read, so I went to go log it on Letterboxd like a fucking nerd. And one of the people that I follow
Fuck, I don't blame
had
him.
reviewed it pretty highly, and I was like, oh, I'll just read his review really quickly. And he had mentioned the G Kids translation, and so I had looked it up because I knew that the version that we had was not. Because I don't know if you guys recognized a few of the spelling errors in it.
I did, yeah.
Every time they said I've, it was an L instead of an I.
Yeah. Also, well, at least on the media player
Yeah.
that I played it on, like, it was just white text with no border. And so, like, whenever they were in the snow, I was like,
Oh, damn.
Like-
what
like
what
leaning
media
my-
player did you use?
I just double clicked on it. It was probably just like Windows.
Oh,
media
dude, I
player.
had to switch to VLC. It was
VLC,
shit
yeah.
on my
Good-
other
I
one.
have VLC, but I was fine up until those times, and I didn't want to get up.
Use VLC. It's open source. It can read any file. Like it's solid. Yes. So Tokyo
It worked.
Godfathers
It
is the
worked
only
fine.
one-
It worked well on Microsoft. So I won't hate.
Did you
other
have to
than
add,
that.
Did you have to add a subtitle file, or did you just play it?
was
Okay,
just already on
so
there.
you might have gotten like, because there's no subtitles coded in, man. You might have gotten like auto subtitles.
I don't think so.
Windows.
No, because there would be like, I'll take shit, and then it would be like quotes around it, but I won't take fart, and there's it was definitely like when I clicked the corner to make sure, and it was like, do you want this subtitle file? I put them in the same folder, so it probably
So it asked you if you wanted a subtitle file.
No, I went like I started it and I hit pause and I went to the bottom corner and I clicked like the little like a subtitle button, and then like
Yeah.
it was already an option.
Oh,
Like I didn't have to
interesting.
find the
Okay.
file.
Well,
Maybe
good
it's like
for
an
Windows,
auto
I'll
find
do that.
file or auto find feature for the Microsoft version. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried about that too because I downloaded it and I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? And then
That's the only one of the movies that are in the drive that requires you to or there to be an external subtitle file. So I don't know if for you guys it was like half a second late. You would
No,
see
mine was
people.
good. Mine was fine.
yeah, mine was good.
Well, okay. So it's not actually late in the way as like usually when somebody starts talking, the subtitle has already appeared in most movies. Like you want the subtitle to show
Yeah.
up right before the person speaks, like half a second.
Yeah.
So this one shows up, the person starts talking, and then the subtitle pops up like right after him. So it's not bad. Yeah, I hear them dogs barking in the back. But yeah,
I'll do
so
my
I just
best.
thought that was interesting. If you made it, but yes, I was laughing my ass off at that line. Like, I'll take shit, but not fart. And
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I like
But
that.
apparently, in the G Kids translation, it makes it more of an attack on her being a trans woman, a little bit. Which,
But she
I don't
she seems to
know.
brush that. She gets those comments all the time. She to brush them off pretty easily.
Yeah, the way I kind of saw it was in that space. Especially in the space she was like performing as a trans woman in a club that had
No,
a lot,
it didn't just happen there. It happened.
Yeah, it also
I think-
happened with the girl.
No.
the girl,
I'm
yeah.
saying, I know, but it in that space is where she felt safe and she felt accepted. Like she was allowed to be who she was. Like I think she has this incurable optimism about her. And is what you were saying about how she says a haiku every time something fucking happens.
Yeah.
She's religious, and she's always like, well, let's sing a song while we're freezing our asses off, starving in the snow.
I don't know if I would
She has
call it
this incurable-
optimism. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if that's what I would call it either, but I think like out in
I would
Tokyo, in
say-
the thick of it, she's like, she understands, honestly, probably more than she's like more understanding than she even should be. She's like too nice to
Yes.
be like,
Or
I
she
would-
just
I
brushed
would-
it off.
I
It's sort of
understand
like,
that people aren't going to accept me this way, but inside of that club,
But like it wasn't only in the
around
club,
her people, that's where what?
It wasn't
But
only in the
no,
club though.
But that's when she got pissed at it.
No, she
was
got
because
pissed.
she got
earlier
pissed-
in
she
the
got
movie.
pissed at the
yeah,
girl,
she got
too.
pissed at the yeah.
Which girl?
The like the one the
No,
girl
wait.
in the
was,
three homeless
was the
people.
girl or the guy?
Yeah. No,
I
it
thought it
was
was
the
the
girl.
guy that said it.
She was like, "This is no, I think it was the
Yeah.
girl."
Either way, yeah, it
Either
happened
way.
again outside of the
They
club.
called her Uncle Bag the whole time, and she was
Yeah.
even like, "Why are you not misgendering me?" Like,
Well,
Yeah,
no, there was
the whole
but there
time-
was one time
She
that
was-
she said that line, "I'll take shit but not fart." She said
to
that
the
once,
girl, and
not
she got
in the
super
club.
mad. She got like, yeah, because the girl
I
was
don't-
like getting super fucking
Yeah.
pissed off.
It was
about,
the- it was
"God,
the
this
first
is
time
such
she said it."
bullshit and whatever.
oh shit. I only remember it happening in the club, but okay, that takes all the weight out of what I was saying. I was just
No, I
saying
mean I
that-
agree. I like the
It
idea
might
of
have
what
just
you're
been-
saying,
I'm-
but it's
yeah.
yeah,
I'm
in
wondering.
in spaces that are safe, and maybe she also like was more forgiving towards Jin because she was in love with him.
But,
Oh, I mean, she was way more
yeah.
pissed in the club. She was way. I mean, she
She
beat the
yes,
shit
yeah.
out of that guy.
But I think someone that
Put a
that
high
she
heel
had
to the
s-
face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So in a space that she was supposed to be away from that, because that's got to get to you. You know what I mean? Like she
Yeah.
the whole time she's just like, oh yeah, no, like sucks that you can't gender me correctly, but fuck it, whatever. Pretty much the whole time to everyone, even Jin, just horrible to her, and she's just like, whatever. Like they
Yeah.
just
That's
don't
why-
understand. That kind of optimism has got to break you down at some point. You know, at some point you have to just be like, holy shit, this is exhausting. What the
Sorry, I got out of focus for a second. I'm
yeah,
not
you,
trying to-
yeah, you. I saw that you were out of focus. But like what I think from when you first said the pop
Yeah.
thing, I leaned towards
Old.
old because
Yeah.
knowing that she brushes it off so much, I was more interpreting that she would be like you should never call a proper lady old, and that's what she was pissed off about, because she definitely has sort of like standards that she likes to view herself as like I'm ladylike, et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera.
she even
Like,
told
you should never.
Miyuki. She told Miyuki earlier
Yeah.
in the movie to act more
to
ladylike.
act more.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, and this could be completely wrong, but maybe it's from the very beginning, she was just like, I just fucking want to be a mother. And like, that's what Jin was like getting at her with. It's just like a man, sorry for misgendering, but like a man could, is just what he said. It's like a man could never fucking breastfeed a child and could
Yeah.
never get pregnant and blah, 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 blah. And she would brush it off, but all she wanted, because that's why she broke down and was like, no, we have to keep this baby instead of turning it in after they found it, because she just wants to be a mom. So Pops, it might be old, but also like Pops is like a father
Yes,
in a way. So
it is.
maybe
But
that's
see,
it.
it's a
Maybe it's
weird-
the combination. I
It
don't
could
know.
be.
Maybe it's
I
like
could see it either way.
One thing
Either
I don't
way.
understand.
you can
with,
call me a man, or you can call me, any other kind of, anti-LGBTQ slur. But if you take away like my hope of motherhood, I don't know, but
It's all
That
translation
seems
and
like that
stuff.
might be, yeah.
One thing I don't
Probably
understand
should have
about that.
researched more into it.
I don't understand about the Pops translation is that like with the
Yeah.
fart shit combination, it's like I'll take this curse word, but I won't take that curse word, which is humorously lighter than the first one.
Yes.
But with the Pops, why compare Pops to shit? Because shit is sort of just like a random like curse word. Like it seems like with the
she'll
first,
take a lot of shit, like not shit.
but
like
no,
poo,
but it puts
she'll
it in
take a lot of
quotes.
shit.
It puts it in quotes.
I
I'll take
can't remember
shit.
exactly what the guy, the drunk patron, had said to her.
Well, he was calling her ugly, like you're ugly, because
like, well,
she
'cause-
yeah,
fucking
she-
threw
'cause
an
she threw
entire
wine
drink
on
onto
him,
him.
yeah.
I mean,
It
she
might have
wasn't
been-
she wasn't completely without blame in that
I
situation.
love that her song though. Like every time he would yell at her, her song would like reflect, like be like,
yes,
"You
yes,
fucking
that was cool.
suck."
Yeah.
Like-
I also like
But-
her singing voice whenever she sings. Sounds
Oh,
very
yeah.
sort of like
Mhm.
just sort of like
No,
not
she
in like
was-
a classically good way, but like in a nice like when she's just singing, walking down the street and stuff. It feels kind of like just nice.
Yes.
Her
I did
sound
really
of
like
music.
it seemed like she was
her
very
sound of
passionate.
music bit was
Oh,
great.
da, 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 do. Like it just feels like
Oh,
old
the
school kind of
mountain.
like yeah.
No, I think maybe he was like, "You're a piece of shit, Pops," or something like that, and she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you can call me shit, but you can't." I don't know if he was like, "You are shit and also pop." Like I don't think he was using the phrases to mean the same thing. I think he just used them in the. I can't remember exactly. I should have written this down. I did not take good notes.
Either way,
on this
very two very 20-second scenes.
Yes, either it's hilarious or it's really, really like
It's
sad
means-
and telling
it's-
about a character.
Yeah, it's either characterization in a humorous way or characterization in like a depth sort of way.
Yes.
I would also. I wanted to say I would
Yeah.
characterize Hana as more like a romantic rather than an optimist. Sort of like she's just
Yeah, I
very,
can see that.
Yeah.
She's very, very theatric. Very, she wants. It's almost like an actor. Like everything has to have almost a dramatization. Like it's very grand. It's very, And I think her directly singing "The Sound of Music," which is a very grand and super romantic movie. That's the
I
vibe
like
I
that.
got.
I like that. Romantic's better. Yeah. I think you hit it on the head there. I was a little off with optimism, so I like that.
No,
It's romantic.
She is optimistic as well.
But I think he's right. I think Jarrett's right. Like characterizing her as more of like a romantic rather than like an unflinching optimist. It's just like a general romantic. Or like a very heavy romantic. I like that. Like a grand romantic.
She definitely is very romantic.
I will say I found myself. I don't think this is a flaw of the movie because it wasn't handled bad, but I found myself not nearly as interested in Miyuki's
I wouldn't have
Really?
story. I was
Yeah,
a lot
no,
more
me neither.
interested in Hana and Jin's Jin's stories.
I disagree. I was less interested with Jin, and I guess it kind
I
of got
like Jin a lot.
recontextualized at the. I liked him.
I like the character too, but
It was
But
a
when
lot
he-
simpler. I will agree, and that might be why I liked it. It was a lot. I feel like Miyuki's was a lot more nuanced, and there was a lot more interpretation with it. Whereas
Yeah.
Jin's is pretty straightforward. He's a shitty guy, lost his family, and he regrets it.
Yeah, but even then, like so he revealed his what turned out to be false. And I guess that was why I just didn't like his struggles as much as Miyuki's.
But see, we're never really told whether Miyuki was like on the morally good or morally bad side of whatever the situation is. Like she stabs her father because
That's
her
what I'm
cat goes
saying.
away, but they never
That's-
say.
yeah.
So you're left kind of like, well, was her dad like a total piece of shit? Is it going to be bad for her to go back to him, or did she just freak out and he's actually a good guy?
I think her getting that newspaper clipping.
Where he's like,
think-
please come back.
Yeah, pretty much being like Angel has returned. Like I think, because when you saw her flashback when she was like, he's like, "Why the fuck did you stab me?" Which is a great
Why'd you do this to
question.
me?
We're
Yeah,
all wondering this.
but it's something anyone
Pops.
would say.
Yes, anytime you get stabbed, the first thing you should ask is why.
Why would you do this to me?
Like a true philosopher.
Yes. But why?
Thus stabbed Zarathustra. But fucking she was like, "You never listen to me. Where is Angel?" And he was just like, "Ah," like he didn't
Yeah.
say anything. And so the fact that
And they
he
transformed.
had, she was like, he's gonna arrest me. He's gonna fucking arrest me because like blah blah blah. And the fact that she had seen not only that little newspaper clipping of like he had put out an ad to be like, please, like Angel has come home, meaning like I'm sorry. It was almost his way of saying sorry. And then I think we weren't supposed to know exactly their dynamic. We were supposed to learn about how she felt about their dynamic through how she saw Jin and Hana and Kyoko. Like Jin was this father that never listened and was always, they were like that. Like they were very standoffish from the beginning. I mean, they got into 2 fights within the first 10 minutes of the movie. But then later she like finds out that like, oh, we don't want to mess with you because that, geezer Jin, like you're his fucking lifeblood. Like you're,
That's what I was gonna ask a question about that. Why were they afraid of Jin? Jin doesn't seem to be like.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of young people just really don't like gin. It's weird. Too,
I know.
It's made from berries. It's really good. Yeah, mix it with tonic. My God.
Mm-hmm. It's got a nice sort of like wood piney scent to it. It's but
you guys are lame, bro.
I didn't understand because I thought that was gonna go somewhere. When they said, I was like, oh shit, it's gonna turn out Jin is like, like really like defending people, but she's not really like a person to beat up anybody at all.
It's not about that. I think it was a plan to say about how much he cares about Miyuki.
I know. Why do they give a shit if he cares about them? They're obviously assholes.
He's probably been in the homeless game, I guess. In that community
he has
for a
their
minute.
homeless respect, and so that's why they're respecting her.
They were just like,
proxy.
hey, we don't want to fuck with him. I think.
But they were like, "Ooh, get away from us."
They were like,
it seemed like fear, like.
Well, not fear, but it was just like
oh, this is the mafia boss's daughter. Like, whoa, we get it.
They're like, watch where the fuck you were going, and they were like, hey, like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Like, we don't want trouble because like if Jin finds out, you know what I mean? Like, we knocked you to the ground. Like, he's gonna come after us because he's protective of you. It wasn't because Jin is the mob boss, or because Jin is scared, or because he runs the homeless community. They were like, we don't want to fuck with him. And she was like, why would that matter? And
yeah,
she was like, why? Because like you're his favorite. He'll protect you with his life.
I get.
And so to them, it wasn't like
delivering.
Yes, but it wasn't like we're afraid of Jin normally. They were like, we're afraid of Jin in relation to harming you or Hana. Like, I don't know. They didn't specify Hana, but I think
no, they didn't.
But I think that was the point. They're like, we're not afraid of Jin, because she's like, why the fuck would you be afraid of him? Like, we're not. We're afraid of what he would do if he found out that like we knocked you over or some shit. And so I think like that seed being planted, and then her seeing, her mother was super religious, and the way that Hana is so dramatized and always being like, oh, and like sniveling, like romantic and very dramatic and religious in a way. And I think she had just kind of seen, as she went on, like seeing her parents reflecting in the two of them in a way. And I think that's how we were supposed to understand that resolve with her and her father, was you would watch her slowly come to. That's why I loved her arc more than even, I probably liked hers the most than Hana's than Jin's. I think.
Ooh.
I think I was just put off by Jin's from the beginning, because within the first few minutes he was like, yeah, let me confess to these people that I've been with for God knows how long.
Yeah.
That I did this fucked up thing, and I'm indirectly responsible for the death of my daughter and my wife. And then later, like, so the fact that just went super fucking quick, and you were like, it almost felt like I was being like forced sympathy onto him, which you could have just, I think you could have just left it as like, he was like, well, let's take this fucking baby back. And after Hana was like, no, he started like, okay, you have to change your diaper, and you have to do this, and started being very caring towards Kyoko. And so like, you slowly reveal like, okay, well, he's got a family. Well, he's obviously not around them. I wonder what has happened to them. And like, it could have been revealed down the line. I think the conflict between Hana and Jin near the end, when he reconnects with his daughter, was kind of, didn't need to be there. They had already had like
Strong
They had already had
disagree.
they had already
I
had
don't
a
know.
major confrontation to where they
She had
fucking
not
separated.
called him out that hard in and that
But
that
it's
speaks,
revealed why.
But that
she
also
calls him
speaks
out.
to Hana's character is she brings up
Yeah.
the story of the two devils, you know.
Yeah.
The one
Yes.
can't succeed without the efforts of another, and then, you know.
If he reconnects with his daughter, that still rings true.
The point of the whole illusion is that the reason that I was so mean to him is so that his daughter would feel sympathy for him because of how mean I'm being. Yeah.
She cares for Jin so much that she accepted that fact.
I
and
just
still,
thought that was kind of bullshit because like she had done that after the daughter was like, "Yes, I've searched and searched for you. Here's my number. Here's my address. I've always wanted to see you."
Yeah, but he's still. I mean, you gotta take Hana at her word, or you gotta think that she was lying.
Her being like, "Oh, like I used this story in front of his daughter to be like, you told me she was dead and that she had an incurable disease and blah 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 blah." Like he was so ashamed of it, but like his daughter has already accepted him. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was already.
I don't know
it's
if
not
that's
about
clear.
it's not about
And
his
Miyuki
daughter.
was like, "If you shouldn't have fucking done that," and she was like, "If that's truly his daughter, like she'll forgive him."
Well, it's because I don't think it's about his daughter. I think she more purposely did that so that Jin would
Not
man
come
up,
back with
basically.
them.
So Jin would actually learn from the situation and learn that, hey, you caused this, and you know it's more than
I'm
just their
pretty sure
normal
he
banter.
knew that. To me, I don't know.
But
it was
he at that point
it was already.
at
If
that
he could have been like, I think if it would have not been like revealed as like a complete lie at the very beginning, if it was just slowly revealed like what happened with his family, she could have still had that moment with him near the end or something to that effect without being like, "You fucking lied." She could have just been like, "You're a fucking drunk ass," because you've been a bitch the whole fucking movie. Like
exactly, and he stopped being a bitch
actively
after
horrible.
that point.
And he started to ride the bike, which was nice.
Yes, and he
callback.
became he grew in that moment, and I disagree.
To an
'cause
action.
if
I
the
think
viewers
he
were
would have
shown,
done it either way. Like,
ooh, I disagree.
Only if
It's
you
purely
just I
because
think
his
that's
daughter
a
was
forced
there.
way.
No, it's
No,
pure. Yeah, I agree.
he was
I
getting
agree.
the shit beat out of him, and he chased after a group of kids just to get those 30,000 yen back to give
Yes,
to
and
his
it was
daughter,
building up
and
to this
almost fucking
moment.
died. But I think the moment would have been satisfied with his reconnection to his daughter, and I think Hana could have still had a breaking moment with him without having to use the "you lied about this." Like, I just think it was kind
I could
of
see that maybe like
unnecessary.
you don't have to say things that would make like because she's trying to villainize herself to make the daughter sympathize with Jin, and so
Yeah, which I
you
think is
shouldn't
kind of
use any things
bullshit.
that well you
Why
shouldn't.
is that
Okay, well
bullshit?
never
I
mind. I
don't
thought I
think,
agreed
I
with
think,
you.
I think he couldn't fucking. I think
That's not a reason not
forcing-
like Jin. That's a purely Hana
I'm not,
character.
I don't
thing.
dislike his character. I'm saying like I think his art. Like I don't like the fact that he. I thought it was just kind of shoehorned that like he lied, and then I feel like at the end when they have that like blow up, it's just like manufactured growth for him, but it's really not.
I don't think it's
I
manufactured.
think he
at
was
all.
already on the path of growing.
Nah,
And I think he
nah.
would have gotten to there whether or not like Hana was like a piece of shit for that 1 second. Like I still think you had even said, Jarrett, that they were building up to that moment. He was already on that path without her doing it.
Hold
Yeah,
on. Can
but
I
think-
can I elaborate more?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay, the whole scene with the old man, the old homeless man, I believe
Yeah.
was meant to show like Jin's headed on this path. Then he gets his
Yeah.
ass kicked, and then he's like
a little too on the nose for that one.
No,
I just feel like it's nitpicking.
They
They
man.
dressed
fucking-
the old man the exact same way. He
they're
had a
homeless.
nice-
What do you mean? They're all dressed the same way.
He had
They're
an
all wearing various shades
identical.
of brown and navy.
He had an identical bag.
Either way, regardless, that moment he got his ass kicked, and yes, he had a little spark. He was thinking, maybe not, but maybe I need to fix myself up. But he doesn't, and we see this interaction between him and his daughter, and he's sort of shying away from it. Like, yeah, he's being cordial, but he's not
He's still
he's not
ashamed of
actively.
himself.
He's still ashamed of himself,
He's almost
and he's
backing
still.
out.
Exactly. And so Hana realizes this because she cares about him so much, and she props him up not only for the daughter to for him to gain sympathy
I just
from
didn't
her.
think it was that big of a propping up. Like, I think the daughter had
can
already
kinda
had
see
the
that.
resolve with him,
But
and, like,
it's
Hana
not
storms
again,
off,
it's
and
more
then it's
for-
over.
It's more for
But
Jin
we don't
than
even
it is
get to
for
see
the daughter.
we don't get to see any of the effects of that. Him
We don't get to see
What do
the
you
effects of a
mean?
lot of stuff.
She gave
getting
Jin
on the
her
bike and chasing after Kyoko has absolutely nothing to do with that scene right there.
strong disagree.
He goes
Maybe.
to, like, they were planning on going to Shmiko or whatever the fuck her name was, her place all together, but he had the address and they stormed off. So he went by himself and then learned from the husband.
That's all
that-
after the daughter scene.
Yes.
Yes, so
they
he
were
grew
gonna
from the scene.
they were going to go either way. It
No,
was
he was
learning
just- but
that
he was just
information.
tagging
It was
along.
looking at the
He
husband.
was just a bystander. He was
He was
just
not a
just-
bystander. He had the address.
Okay,
He
but
was
he's
the
just-
one that
he's
initiated
tagging
going
along.
there.
No, he's tagging along because they're all
was
he's
not
got,
tagging
and
along.
he cares about them. He doesn't give a shit about the
No.
child.
He went, like, he does give a shit about the child. It was established at the beginning that he gives a shit about the child.
He doesn't
How
want
do
to
you
see
feel-
it
how do you feel about
die,
this
but he
interpretation?
doesn't
How
care
do you-
nearly as much about the child as the other two do.
How do you feel about the interpretation that Hannah is intentionally trying to not only to endear him to his daughter or to necessarily spur
I'm
him to
saying
be
that
hold
exists.
on. But to actively distance him from Hana and the girl. She's trying to push him away so that he'll go to her and maybe have a better life. Basically,
I feel like
she's
that
throwing
goes
him
with
overboard. So
Either of the first two. I feel
Huh?
like that's.
I
feel like
just
that's
don't-
related to both of the things you said first.
no, I think that those are different.
I'm saying
yeah,
that
maybe so.
I would have been okay with it being that motive and that motive alone without the manufactured lying and deceit and trying to push him to, like, I think it doesn't work. I think it's there, but I don't think it works necessarily. Like, I think he started as a too sympathetic person, and then in that scene he just becomes unsympathetic, and the only reason he was already on a path of growth anyway, he just continues it, and all we learn is that, like, Hana's okay with, like, sacrificing her own needs for others, which we've seen the entire movie. And I understand it culminating in that moment. I understand that illusion. I loved that illusion. And I think she could have had a blow up or a let me distance myself away from this man while he's reconnecting with his daughter. But it didn't have to be that kind of blow up. I'm saying
I can see that. I can see
it's
that.
not necessarily about that scene. It's more about at the beginning when he straight up just lies about who the fuck he is. Just
I think it's
drops
part
a
of his
huge
character,
bomb
man.
in the first 10 minutes. I think you get that his character is a piece of shit and doesn't care
Yeah.
about other people, but, like, kind of does. But there's like, I think it would have been better if he would have just been horrible and fighting with Miyuki and using homophobic slurs towards Hana and just being a defeatist all the time, being like, we're never going to make it. We're going to go hungry. We're going to starve and die. Why are we going? Always being a contrarian, but caring for Kyoko. And
That would have been
caring for
so
Miyuki.
much more manufactured. That would have been basic as
It's
hell.
the exact same thing. No, that's already happening.
No, but he's more
only difference-
nuanced than that. He's not just a grouch
talking
the
about?
whole movie. Like he's tagging
Yes,
along.
I'm saying all of that still exists. You just remove that dumb fucking story about him being a bike racer. Like, that shit was
Oh,
shit
so
was
that's what you don't like. You don't
The
like that he
ol-
lied in the beginning.
the only reason that was there.
Is so you can
was
show he was a piece of shit earlier.
Just to blow up later. And I don't think it needed to happen
Ah.
because I think
I
he was
think
already a
him being a
nuanced
liar
enough
is-
character. And I wonder why, like, they did that shit. Because, like, I don't necessarily know if I care about that. I care about his growth as a character. But, like, I wish they would have just slowly revealed the information of his past, like they did with Kyuki, like they did with Hana, who I think were better characters.
Okay.
I agree to disagree.
That's my thing. That's
Yeah,
my
I
thing.
would.
I
That's
I
fair.
think I think you guys are right. That's what they were going for. I just
We're
think
always
it's
right.
unnecessary
No,
because
to
I think
me-
it was
to
already
me-
there.
The fact that he was a liar, to me, that added more nuance to it, because I feel like the story of a guy who just becomes homeless from gambling is just kind of a piece of shit. That sounds boring to me. So I feel like
he
that
can lie in smaller ways up until that point.
But then it makes Hana's
pulls the
monologue
weight.
hit that much harder. Because
I think Hana's
because he
monologue
had
would
such
have
a big
hit
lie.
no matter what.
I think it added to it.
I think we already knew. Like, Hana's monologue hits because of Hana's character. It has nothing to do with Jin. Not
Disagree.
at all.
That's
We knew Jin was estranged from his family, whether they were dead or not. Like, honestly, it makes him
I think it's
even
pretty
more
different.
sympathetic and him more estranged to the fact that his family is still alive.
But it makes him less of a piece of shit.
No, it makes him more of a piece of shit.
It makes
No,
it more
I
of a
don't
piece
think
of
so.
shit, and that's why it's interesting.
If
It's
his
not.
family
It's not like
died,
But they didn't die because of him. Like he didn't say
They
like
didn't-
his wife killed herself.
His
This
wife
is
didn't
this is
kill
a
herself.
like this is the difference between I was a piece of shit 25 years
Yeah.
ago versus I'm a piece of shit to this day. I'm
To
still
me-
not going to see them. I'm still lying about it. I
yeah,
think it's a big difference.
I'm saying he's more of a piece of shit, and he has a
Uh-huh.
better growth with us knowing or being slowly revealed that they're alive. I think it was just kind of like a dumb twist. I knew it was coming the whole time from the very beginning. Like,
What? do you-
I just couldn't buy into anything because I was like, I'm just waiting for when they reveal his daughter and wife are still alive.
That's a good point.
So I was waiting for that moment the entire fucking movie. And so, like, everything he did, there's just like, and it felt like a bunch of forced sympathy as well. Because if you don't realize that, like, if you aren't expecting him to be a fucking liar, if early on in the movie you're like, okay, I believe him, and that pull out from under the rug at the end, that twist works, isn't it fucking weird that they're trying to, like, make you super sympathetic towards a character like
No.
that quickly
I don't
in a
think
movie?
so.
Not at
I
all.
just
he's that
it just felt
sympathetic.
I sympathize with Hana. I sympathize with Kiyuki. And they weren't given a tragic backstory through exposition in the first 10 minutes. Like, I watched
They were given a
them
tragic
interact.
backstory through
Story,
a flashback
period,
later on in
yeah.
the movie. It was still
Later
through
on in the movie-
exposition, but still.
Later, I'm not in the first, but later on in the movie, after I'd follow them around and seen them interact and watch them make decisions and been like, what would I do in their shoes? With Jin, you had barely known anything about any of these characters, and he was like, hey, yeah, so here's the reason why I'm homeless and the reason why I care so much about Miyuki and the reason I know how to take care of a kid and feel bad for me. And I was like, either A, that's bullshit and all a lie, or B, this is the dumbest way because I think the character could have been sympathetic if they just would have taken that part out and left everything else the same.
Well,
because
a few minutes after that, or maybe even like within seconds or minutes, like what's her face, Hana immediately or directly says, "I've always wanted to be a mother." That's something you could have shown, but she says it, but it works fine.
But that is a detail about
This is
her
a detail. We're
characterization.
talking about a detail.
Not her entire. We didn't know where she came from. We didn't know how she had become homeless. Literally,
We
he
still
was like,
don't.
yes, we do. She fucking kicked that motherfucker at the club, ran away, and never came back. She talks about that shit later. But we understand why she did it and why she had to do it and how she feels about herself because we've spent an hour already following her around, watching her interact with situations, and watching her slowly reveal things about herself to the others and to herself and to us as an audience. With Jin, and I'm not saying, like, I think there were parts that, like, they were slowly revealing things about him, but it all held no weight to me because of the beginning. So I'm saying if you remove that, he becomes an A+ character. But putting that in there, it just pulls all of the weight out of his characterization and his progress within the movie. And so, like, I think about any movie. Like, what the fuck? Why would you ever want in writing to come out and be like, here's why you should feel bad for this character?
But I don't.
Like, why would you
see why it's
I
that
don't
big
know.
of a
I don't know about
Especially
that.
when he interacts with two other characters that go through a solid progression and an arc. I'm not saying he's a bad character. I think he would have been a great character, and I think he is a great character if you take that shit out, if you take just that beginning part out,
I don't think it's that offensive.
I don't think it's good.
We gotta agree. We gotta agree to disagree.
Agree to
This is back and forth.
agree to
This is
disagree.
volleyball. We've been talking about this one scene with Jin for 30
Oh,
minutes.
I'm
Hold on.
sorry.
I've got other things with this movie to talk about.
All right.
Not big things, to be
You
fair.
go ahead and talk about that shit. I'm gonna be right back.
You gotta pee?
Okay, I got
gotta
you,
pee
Ian.
too.
I'm listening.
All right. I was gonna talk.
Sorry.
It doesn't. Fuck. What was one of them?
You already forgot.
Well, no, I have another one. I have another one I want to talk about.
Yeah, go
but
ahead.
the first one,
Just-
the first one was related to what we've been talking about. Okay, well, I'll just do the other one first. I like the structure is really nice. I don't think I'll say about like the opposite of what Houston's saying. Not that his point is necessarily invalid.
Good.
It's
Yeah, I
a
agree.
good point. But it's not. This isn't an argument to his point. But I noticed it in the movie in the first like 5 to 10 minutes or whatever, just when they're going from the like getting meals from the Christians to rumbling through the garbage, we get a picture of the characteristics, a little bit of the backstory, and a little bit of the relationship dynamics from every character, just based on their dialogue with like, I want to get you this children's set of books because everyone should have children's sets of books. You should, no one forgets their parents.
That's actually
And
that's
then-
I don't want to bring it up again, but
Yeah.
that's kind of a thing. I actually think that's a point against Houston because I don't feel that Jin was just out of fucking nowhere. We're just sympathize. I feel like by that point in the story, I feel like, okay, we can assume they've been, homeless for a while. They have this camaraderie in a way. Jin's a bit of a dick.
In a way, but he's a
yeah.
bit of a dick because he's very apathetic and very like he's
yes.
given up in a way.
Apathy?
And then
Did somebody say apathy?
Yeah, we were talking about how Jin, you get a character, you get a little bit, a piece of every character in the first 5 to 10 minutes when they're just rumbling through garbage and when they're getting the meals from the Christians, and a little bit of all their character dynamics and a little bit of their backstories. You get a little bit of Kyoko. Is it Kyoko? No, it's the baby. The girl.
Miyuki.
You get a little bit
Miyuki.
You get a little bit of her. She's running from home. You get a little bit of Hana's transgender. You get a little bit of Jin is an apathetic asshole, and you also get like how each character sort of reacts with each other without sort of like, I don't like you because it's sort of, it comes on really organically. Like I felt like once they'd gotten to the, like once they went home, once they met the baby, I already felt like I knew every character a bit, and I thought that was structured really well.
Yeah.
I was also going to ask, why do you think, like I understand why, obviously why the baby's name is Kyoko, although Jin didn't name her Kyoko, and his daughter is also coincidentally named Kyoko.
Yeah.
She explained it in
but
the
there's-
movie.
Yeah, she explained it. Yeah, but it's sort of like an odd coincidence. I wonder why the woman getting married to the mafia boss's the daughter, her name was also Kyoko.
Yeah, she also
wonder
looked a
why was
lot
that?
like. She looked a lot like.
The mother.
No, she looked a lot like Jin's daughter, and so if he's
Yeah.
if he's
Well, a lot of them.
lying,
A lot of the non-main
About-
characters kind of look like vaguely similar.
so if he's lying about that's the dude that fucking set me up with this bike race, but then you find out later it's actually he just owes money to him, like gambling debts. I don't know. It just seemed kind of weird to me. So it was like, I didn't know if it was gonna be like if everything's a lie, like he's just reminiscent about his daughter and something that had happened between them. And so he was projecting that onto this dude, but then you find out later that like that dude, he actually owed money to that guy.
Oh yeah, he was just
So
a,
I was
like
like-
a loan shark, right?
Yeah,
Or something like that.
I mean,
but
yeah,
like,
so
why?
I was
Why?
like,
Why?
why the fuck?
Why did
Why
they
the
put
fuck?
that? I wonder why in the movie. Like, why
I
did the
really
director
don't
decide
know.
that her?
I really don't know. So when I thought, because I was like, oh shit, everything that he said up until this point is a lie. So like, therefore, he's projecting onto this fucking scene. So I was on that track. Like that's why her name is Kyoko.
Yeah,
Because you could tell pretty early on that either his wife or his daughter were named Kyoko.
maybe so.
Because
The
I,
daughter
thought, I
was
did
the
think
daughter.
maybe some. I maybe thought the bride.
no,
was
it
gonna
is
have
it is her
something to do
daughter,
with
but
them.
like I didn't know if it was either one of them early
Yeah.
on.
No, doesn't he when Hana says that
Yeah.
the baby's named Kyoko. I think Miyuki says like, "Isn't that the name of your daughter?" Like in the
No,
beginning.
she's like, "What? Do you have?" He was like, "Kyoko." Like, no. Like, and she was like, "What? Do you have a girlfriend named Kyoko or something?" He's like, "What? No."
Oh, okay. Was
And
that?
I was like,
oh
yeah.
yeah.
Never
So
mind.
I was
he
like-
definitely reacts in a he reacts.
So I was like,
where you can
clearly
tell something
someone in
is,
his
yeah.
life was
That's a good setup.
that. And so then when they roll in, and he's like, the dude that they save is like Kyoko, and she's like, "Dad, you're here." And I was like, "Oh shit, it's his daughter."
Yeah.
Even though she was talking to the mob boss. So I
That-
was like, these are the types of hints that I was talking about, where it's just like slowly information's being revealed. But I was like, okay, so everything at the beginning was bullshit, and he's projecting onto this random guy. But then later you find out he actually owed money to him. So I was like, I guess it was just a coincidence.
No, it wasn't coincidence. He lied.
No,
about
it
something.
was a coincidence that woman was named Kyoko for something.
Oh yeah, I guess so. That was what I was wondering.
That shit was just random.
But they had some reason for it, I'm sure. But that you get the inkling that he's talking shit, or at least I did a little bit when he was like, "That's the guy who was my like random buddy who like convinced me to do this thing," and like this guy is like a super successful mob boss, and a part of a big mob, and it's like that guy was your buddy, that guy who.
I mean, if we're operating,
it
under
makes
the
sense that
assumption,
I
he was a
thought
racer.
it was
Racist?
something was amiss.
yeah,
He was a professional
race car driver.
bike racer, so if somebody
Bike
was like,
racer,
"Yeah,
sorry.
I fix the,"
Well,
like,
no, he
it's
just
not-
said like it was one of my friends. It was like one of my friends who was like, "Hey, this is a way we can make some money." It made it like when he first described that character, I thought of him as like just a skeevy buddy who was like.
It was a guy. It was a guy.
I mean,
that
the guy
he
felt
knew.
the guy was definitely skeevy.
Yeah, he's
But
definitely
it
skeevy,
was
that
a-
much certain. Yeah, either way,
It was a guy that he knew,
True
and
to
also even the
impulse.
mob boss was like, "Fucking my daughter marrying a dude like that."
yeah.
And so like when even Jen was like, "What if your daughter's happy?" But then he like rolls in and sees like a woman named Kyoko like marrying a loan shark, and he was like, "Ah!" And so I just assumed he was projecting, but it was actually true. Like he definitely did owe that guy money, so that was kind of weird. Also, when you're talking about them rumbling through the garbage,
Yeah.
I loved the one line where he throws a book at Miyuki.
Dostoevsky.
Yeah, and then Hana's like, "Fucking not the Dostoevsky," which
Yeah, you never
one,
treat
that's just
Dostoevsky that way.
that's funny in general, but two, so going in talking about Satoshi Kon, the director that made this movie,
Uh-huh.
when I was like, wow, this was a much lighter film than I expected. Dead ass, that man just like makes Dostoevsky books into movies. Like we'll watch Perfect Blue. It's just like the fucking double. Like he straight up is like always alluding to Dostoevsky. So the fact that like he was like, oh shit, like I'm making kind of a more lighthearted and tone film that I can't necessarily tie directly to a Dostoevsky story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make just a
Casual
random
offhand
reference
yeah.
to one of his books. I thought that was just kind of funny.
Did you notice that the other homeless guys that run into the girl? Did you notice that they were holding those books again?
Yup.
Well, I wonder
Yep.
I wonder if it's supposed to imply that those guys are they've got their own story, they're well read and stuff, or if they're just trying to sell that stuff or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Dostoevsky's dime a dozen.
He's written like 1 billion fucking books, so I think you could find. He's also one of the most published authors of all time.
Yeah.
Like you could find his shit everywhere.
Hardbacks too. They threw out a whole set of hardbacks. I don't believe that.
Ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
See, they wouldn't be homeless if they just knew how to penny pinch. All right.
Exactly.
If
Every
they just
time they
didn't
go to
order their latte
Starbucks-
from Starbucks, yeah.
The dumbest fucking argument ever. It's just like, you say you don't have a lot of money, but I saw you like do something nice for yourself one
Yeah.
time. Like, you're not allowed to enjoy living. Well, fuck you.
Piece of shit. I have a question. So who is the one who dropped off the baby? Who's the one who abandoned it originally?
The woman.
The woman, but
stole it.
She
yeah, but
stole
why
it
was
and
she? And then gave it away, and then wanted it killed
She
herself.
did-
Wanted
Yeah,
to kill
'cause
herself
the
because she couldn't get it
husband
back.
was the husband was like, yeah, fuck that, and then she went crazy.
Yeah.
And
I
then
So he didn't
went-
drop it
yeah.
off. He wasn't like trying to get rid of it.
No, I think he
No,
did.
no. She brought it back, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, fuck
Fuck
that."
no. That's
then-
not my
yeah.
kid.
And then she dropped it off.
And
yeah.
then she wants it super bad later.
yes, then she.
I
went
don't think
crazy.
she dropped it off. I think he dropped it off. I think
Because
he
he
ditched the
didn't want it?
baby. Yes. I think
Well-
he took the baby and ditched the baby and was like, get the fuck out of here.
And it's like, please take care of this baby. One thing I don't understand: why did
Yeah.
they leave a key to the locker with all their shit in it?
I don't think that was intentional.
I don't see how
I
mean-
don't think it was supposed to happen.
they like accidentally dropped it in there.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, you
Why was all
could
their
definitely
shit in a
tell
locker anyway?
when he went to the husband's place, you were like,
Yeah,
oh
that
yeah,
shit
this
was
dude could
nasty.
definitely drop a fucking key.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
when
he
he's,
had
like,
like a
leaving a
a
baby.
wicker basket available and like a blanket and like notes.
Yeah, but he dropped the key. Oh no, the key was in the bottom of the wicker basket.
yeah, it was under
So-
the baby. Yeah,
The key might have been dropped in there earlier, and the baby was in there. He just picked up the basket and took the baby without thinking, and the key was like still sitting in there accidentally. Like
That's
the mom might have
believable,
dropped
man.
the key or something.
I
like
could see
that.
that.
That guy's
Also, the
apartment,
baby's like fucking magic. Like, are we
Baby is
forgetting that
magic.
like
It's got that magic
literally
bowl.
the baby, like, well, not the baby, but like, I guess God and the baby
God.
saved like someone from falling 20 stories to their death at the very end.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, many a times they should have like fucking got murked.
Yo, I
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
thought
But
that
they weren't.
scene of the wind.
I wanted to.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I wanted to hear the story of that ambulance driver that just drove straight into like the restaurant when they all walked out. Like, whoa, what's going on with him? What the fuck is his deal?
He was like, call the ambulance.
Call an ambulance. Like, whoa. We need
I
a
was
little
geeking
more.
my ass off right there. I was like, that's so funny. But yeah,
For
Joe, what
him,
were
or
you
is
saying?
there someone in the back? Like, what's his? Either way, what were you saying, Jarrett?
Oh, I wanted to say earlier. This isn't what I was about to say, but because I forgot. I was going to say
It was
the
about
guy's
the wind
apartment.
or the god.
Oh, yes. Okay, so first point, the guy's apartment looked like yours, Ian.
What?
Ian's was
oh,
not
you
that
piece
bad.
of shit.
No.
Sorry,
I was
Ian,
like, I
you're-
was thinking of like setup and like the room structure, and I was like, I don't think so. Oh, he's
Just
saying
a
oh,
mess.
fucking dirty ass. Okay,
All
I
right.
see.
Okay, hang on.
It's
Really
pretty
quickly
fucked up
about
now.
that before you get to your next point, Jarrett. One, Ian's apartment not that bad for a bachelor pad.
That was
Two,
cleaned up.
Who was the one who spilled an entire cup of water over everything the last time someone was there? And three, dude, the entire time that you guys lived together, Jarrett, I remember going into your room. You never put away clothes. You just had a pile on
I
the
don't-
floor for
He
2
had,
years.
he had a carpet.
He
Yeah,
would-
I was about to
what
say
did
it
he
was
do?
more of a.
He
it
would
was
do
more of a
laundry.
spread.
Dump it
Yeah.
all on the fucking ground.
Yes.
And then just like that would be like he would pick clothes out of that, put them in the laundry basket, and then just dump them on the ground. You had a mount. I moved you into that place, and I almost moved you out.
Yes.
I was there like a few hours before, but
yes.
there was a mountain of clothes until then, so I don't think you could be talking shit about anyone's living space. Sorry to go in on you like that.
Oh, that's
I
okay. No, it's
apologize.
deserved.
Shit.
Without Kaylee in my life, I would be quite gross. I still
It
am
was-
kind of gross.
yeah.
Yo, I keep my
Yeah.
email box clean and my schoolwork organized, but like my actual shit, nah.
No, dude, I got
definitely.
that mad ADHD to where you let everything fucking like pile up and shit, and then all of a sudden you just get hyper fixated, and you're like, for the next 3 days, I'm going to find a way to like color code all of my like files on my computer. Like I'm gonna fucking like
Oh God.
I've organized my closet. Like a couple weeks ago, I organized my closet by like clothing, but also corresponded them to different types of hangers.
Shit, man. I'm glad we didn't
It's
live
just
together.
something.
Fucked up.
Yes, no.
Yeah.
What do you no, so if we would have lived together, we would have been living in filth like normal, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere you would have just come home to everything like organized perfectly. Like
I
it's
was
just, in
making
my
I was
brain,
making a reference there, but
we definitely
Dude.
did live together. I wasn't
Yes.
at that fucking place half it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I apologize for that. I definitely like bailed on you a good bit.
oh, that's all right, dude. I was
early in love, so like I was going over to
Mhm.
like the hoe's house, you know, a good bit.
what was the second point? Fuck.
I'm so
Fuck.
sorry. I
Oh,
definitely,
so
derailed you.
No, you're good. You're good. The scene, yeah, where God comes in and sweeps
Yeah.
Hana with the baby. Did anyone else like low key like think about like the scene in Elf when Santa and Buddy and all them are like flying on the sleigh like above the crowd like going into the
How
air?
the fuck did I already make an elf reference earlier in the podcast? Oh damn! No, I did not think of
I did not
elf.
notice that. I don't. You remember Elf a lot better than me.
only because Kaylee and I watched it within the past year. Before that I hadn't
makes
watched it since like 2004.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, hot take. I fucking hate Elf.
That is a
very
take,
hot take.
which I'm
It's
not
a
even
very
willing to
hot
warrant with an answer.
I don't think it's that good except for one joke. When he's like, he leaves that, like, he gets all sad, he leaves the goodbye note to, like, leave the family, and he's like, P.S. I, like, crammed 12 cookies into the VCR. I don't know why, but that shit geeks me every time.
And
The rest of the movie,
that's the whole movie.
eh.
That's the whole movie right there.
I don't know. It's just that one joke. The fact that he was just like, goodbye. Also, I just, like, I understand him making, like, spaghetti and maple syrup, or, like, being like, I'm going to try
that's
the
a little-
best
On a
coffee in the
Pop-Tart.
world, or, like, eat the gum off it. Like, that's all something that, like, somebody from a magical world visiting New York would do. But the fact that he was like, I just decided to put 12 cookies in the VCR, you're like, you gotta know that shit did not exist where you come from.
Dude,
like, you
it's
just
like,
did that.
honestly, it's like the gen development, dude. It just fucking sucks.
It's a lot like
just
that.
so bad.
Which I disagree
Like,
with, by the way.
Are you gonna fucking let that one go, or am I gonna have to keep
No.
telling you how wrong you are?
Either way.
I will say the elf thing. Yes, that was my final point. I think Tokyo Godfathers just speaks for itself. It's just a good ass.
Very
movie.
good. Very pleasant.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone have anything else about Tokyo I know we kind of went pretty hard in the paint there for a minute.
We did. Yeah, I remember at the beginning you were like, we're not going to probably go into these as much. And I was like,
Yeah,
Or
I
I was-
just
I
didn't
was
think
doubtful.
Jarrett was gonna. I just think you guys are gonna argue
Dude,
with
I'm
me.
gonna go
Yeah, we didn't think we
hard
were-
in the second one. I'm gonna go.
oh,
fucking
yeah. I know.
hard.
All right. Do you think we should break now?
I think we should.
And
I got to take a
go-
mad pee.
Okay, yeah. I think because we did go a little overboard with Tokyo Godfathers, we'll just go hard into Wolf Children and then do our comparisons.
I'll leave the
Okay.
recording on since it for the video, since you know that
Oh, it
I
creates
watched,
incredible content.
Yeah, I was about to say, Ian, wait till you if you have the chance to watch that first.
Ian, have you watched
podcast.
the-
No, I
Roasts
haven't.
me.
The full version? Oh yeah. I roast all of us. I think Jarrett gets it the worst just because he had the
is
easiest
the easy-
jokes to
I'm a
make.
bit of a prick, so that's fine. It's fair.
What?
a
I don't think it was you being
bit of a
prick.
gin, really.
I don't
Bit of
know.
a gin.
Yeah.
Just even if you don't want to go watch the whole thing, just go skip until we break and just watch like the break. Like
Want more content like this? Link in the description.
Like,
all right, guys.
subscribe.
Well, so we'll take about a 5-minute break. And we'll come back and discuss Wolf Children. Hopefully not as heated as the last
it's
one.
gonna
I thought it was
Is
kind
it
of
gonna
fun.
be heated? I
Oh,
don't know.
it's probably going to be heated. Based on what
It's-
Ian said, I think it's going to be heated.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Jared.
All right.
Ooh, I think Jared's about to lay into this shit.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Dude, I'll be the mediator. All right. Well,
All right.
reconvene in 5 minutes.
All right.
Bonjour.
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 Welcome to the Spaghetti and Meatballs podcast. My name's Rumpelstiltskin. I've got I don't know what you guys' names are. Either way, we're here to watch. We're here to.
look at our Zoom names.
I think Ogre.
we're here.
was the
Sex
name you were
God and
looking
Jarrett McMeans.
Yeah.
for. Hey,
I'm
don't
sorry.
say my
Butterscotch
last name.
mincemeat.
Don't dox my last name like that.
Isn't it on the screen?
No, the Zoom recording doesn't get the names.
Oh, sorry. I meant Jarrett
the
McDonald's.
Means
Yeah,
McJerry.
that works.
Means
too.
McJerry. Sorry, Ian. Keep going with this
It's-
beautiful.
I'll
intro.
allow it this once. Now we're going to talk about Wolf Children, which was a great, nice little film, heartwarming. It's about a young woman who starts a burgeoning relationship with a werewolf furry creature, and has his children, but then dies, forcing her to raise them on her
The
own.
mom or the
It's
werewolf?
the werewolf dies. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
The werewolf dies in a ditch somewhere due to unknown circumstances.
It's more of
with,
a ravine.
Pheasant. It's
Gutter.
It's a channel. It's an artificial channel.
Prick, like I said. I'm a
gutter.
prick.
Yes. It's not a gutter. Anyway, she's forced to raise them on her own, which proves very difficult. They're forced to move out into the country due to the difficulties of raising wolf children, which I didn't mention. They're half wolf, half children. They can transfer. They're werewolves too.
What's their names?
And
Yeah, sorry, what's
their
the name
names
of
are Arya and Kimosabi, and that's the girl and the boy. And it's very difficult. They go into the country. The boy is very sheepish and shy at first, and the girl is very outgoing and charismatic. We see them grow up through the trials and the struggles of the mother, who's constantly working to better their lives at the sort of the cost of her own, sort of sanity. But her love for them is infinite, and they go off in their own paths and sort of fly away in different directions. And they get to choose whether they want to be wolves or people, and the struggles with both of those.
Fantastic plot synopsis.
Thank you.
Ian. That was your best one yet. Low bar, but best one.
Yeah,
for two.
real low bar there.
You're 1 for 2.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. The guy who did this, Mamoru Hosoda, same dude who did Mirai, which is like the best movie
Really?
ever. Yeah. Same guy.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
If you remember,
family drama.
but I also talked about it when I was like in the other, because neither of you guys had seen any of his movies before.
Yeah. When I hear references I don't understand, I just like freeze.
Zone. Yeah,
I just like
laugh.
zone out. I just turn.
You do
But
a
I was
fake
like,
laugh.
And
I was
people are like,
like-
why are you laughing? Yeah.
like you had said, like
I
the little
noticed that,
boy
yeah.
was sheepish, and then he became kind of more of the wolf, whereas the girl is more human. And then also, I mentioned, because I hadn't seen the whole movie. I will say that I'd seen parts of Wolf Children. I hadn't seen the entire film, so I was kind of basing it off of that. So I could have been wrong, but I did mention that like the mom was like a fucking saint, and, like never did anything wrong. And that was based on like the few parts of the movie I'd seen. Yeah, I was right, dude. She was like dead ass, like literally the best mom in the fucking world. Oh shit.
In a way.
Yeah, she just didn't let shit phase her at all. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Initial reactions to this one. I guess I'll start with Jarrett first, since we started with Ian last time and he did the synopsis.
So initial reaction is
Or do
I'm
you
glad
want me
we
to start with
watched-
you, Jarrett? 'Cause
Vitriol.
no.
I know you
yeah,
had a
that's
lot
fine.
to say about this one. Okay.
I'm glad we started with Mirai, because if we hadn't, and I saw that Mirai was directed by Hosoda and Wolf Children was my first viewing, there's a strong likelihood I would not have watched Mirai.
Damn.
Wow. I'm stunned by that.
Yes, so
Billy
that's
Ray
my initial.
Cyrus, dude.
That was
Much
my
to think
initial-
about.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna have to be the only person like fighting for Tokyo Godfathers. I thought this was gonna be like a. Wow, continue. I want to hear more.
Yeah.
Oh, I can rip
Go all
it.
day.
Yeah, I can go all day.
Okay.
But
Wow.
just keep it to initial thoughts. Don't
Yeah.
go too
Yeah,
deep.
just
yeah, we'll
no,
get there.
I'll
We'll
wait.
get there.
But I'm pretty firm in saying this has been the worst movie we have watched so far. I hated this movie. The only part I liked was a great scene was when they were running through the snow. That was a great scene. Beautiful scene.
I
Yeah.
fucking knew while I was watching this movie, I was like, Jared's gonna fucking nut over this like, piece of
Yeah.
3D. Because you had
Yes.
mentioned that shit in Mirai.
I don't think 3D. Is
Oh, 3D is a very big
Just
part
depth.
of my
Or, sorry,
my
I'm talking
distaste for this movie.
What?
But yes, that scene was great. But the
shoot.
98% of the rest of the movie, I know that's blaspheme. I've never heard anyone dislike this movie.
I
I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it so much.
It is
I-
like a
I hated it.
madly respected movie. Like
Yeah.
Well,
it is like
I'm here to be the
Like-
guy
like-
to say,
higher reviewed than Mirai, higher reviewed than I
Yeah.
think any other Hosoda film. Girl Who Left
I
in
don't-
Time,
I
Summer
don't
Wars,
doubt it.
nothing.
well, I guess I'm being the dissenter here because I thought this movie
Well, we
kind of
still-
sucked.
We still need to
Okay.
hear what Ian has to say and
Wow.
myself.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you got that's
No, please. That was just
Who's going
initial
next?
thoughts. Initial thoughts. You go ahead.
okay. We'll get.
Do you
want to
go next, Ian?
That's up to you.
You can go next.
I went first last time.
Oh,
You can go.
All right, then I'll go. Yeah, you are correct. And also, no one wants to fucking hear what you have to say.
That's true. I'm a guest. I'm a permanent guest on the
What if we fucking did that shit? Like,
show.
copyrighted, patented this shit, like, made a whole brand, 1 billion people watching. And we're like,
There's a
this is-
podcast
this
I
is-
like that has the description basically like that. It's like these are the two hosts, and you got third host. They're like, and he's the
Yeah, he
There's
talks
this
like
other
every
guy, too.
20 minutes. Yeah.
yeah.
What podcast is that?
I've been watching
Cometown.
I've been
I
watching
knew you
Steve.
fucking gonna say Cometown, dude.
You did, yeah.
Have
On the
y'all-
description, it's like two professional comedians who host the show, and Adam, who's the girl of the group. Which I thought was humorous.
Have y'all watched Steve-O's podcast? I don't know if y'all are fans of
Yeah, I
Jackass.
have, yeah.
But, okay, so yeah, Steve-O, it's always Steve-O, the guest, that main guy who sits by him, and then there's the guy who sits in the front of the RV that talks like every 20 minutes, and they
Yeah.
always forget to introduce him.
Well, he's sort of like on set with a mic.
Yeah.
I've seen other things like that where it's like,
Yeah.
like on the Joe Rogan, like the guy who does all the computer stuff. He has a mic. Like either way, the point stands that a lot of either way. Sorry.
We were thinking about, me and Joe were actually discussing making you a permanent fixture of this podcast, but then you brought up
Really?
Joe Rogan, dude.
It's a good example in the context of a person who's not really on the show, but
Yo,
is also
Jamie,
kind
can
of
you
on the
pull up
show.
that clip of Ian being
Jamie
a fucking...
is his name. I'm not wearing any underwear.
What
What were you saying, Jared?
Sorry.
You were talking more shit.
Yes. One, how are you going to remember? How are you going to remember the name of the extra on the Joe Rogan podcast, but you can't remember the name of the fucking protagonists of a movie?
I didn't
you
remember
just
the name of
watched?
the extra on the Joe
You
Rogan's
watched it
podcast.
yesterday, too.
I didn't remember it. I didn't remember any of their names.
Unbelievable.
Shit.
I remembered Hana's name in both of them because they had
Because
the
it was
same
the
name.
same name. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. But
Yeah, go
did you have something else, Jarrett, to make
I
fun of
forgot
Ian
what it
about?
was, so go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Fuck you, Ian. But yeah. So my thoughts on Wolf Children. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of torn because the first 20 minutes of that movie, I kind of was like Jarrett level. Like, what the fuck is going
Me too,
on
kind of.
in this shit? It really, really grew on me, but not because I had this. If you guys remember, I had this with Mirai where I was like, yo, fuck this movie. And then, like, by the end of the movie, I was like, that's the best movie I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
And shit. And I watched it again. Wolf Children did not hit me like that.
Yeah.
But there were some good ass moments in there that I'm like, these could hit me. You know, and so like I'm torn because like on one hand I want to be like, I want to give it the benefit of the doubt and be like, no, I'm going to see it for what it was trying to make me feel and trying to say, and what I did feel or would have felt if I wasn't like keeping myself reserved, you know, by
Yeah.
instinct.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you did watch her fuck an anthropomorphic wolf.
Bro, he didn't
So
That's
change
true.
back. Bro, he was still in werewolf form when they fucked. It was
Yeah, I know.
so
Well,
awful.
that's who he truly is. Though.
Okay,
It's still bestiality.
I
What the
thought. See, when
no,
I
'cause
thought
no. It's
when
not
I
who he
watched
truly is, because he chose. He
But-
chose to go look for a job and be a human
Yes.
and take classes. But
But if she's going
I
to,
was-
I agree with you. When I first saw it, I thought it was
Yeah.
weird, and I was sort of laughing to myself, and I thought I was going to catch heat for I don't know. I don't know. I was never mind. Either way,
for being a furry, because you're a furry.
no, for not being a furry, because I thought I was going to make furry jokes, and I was like, that'll
Yeah.
be mean spirited.
Yeah.
People they won't like that. But apparently,
I mean, they're
Whoa,
animals
I lost
though,
both
so
of
it
you.
doesn't really. Oh shit! Yeah, Ian lagged as fuck right now. Is he frozen for you, Jarrett?
Yes, he is.
Ian.
My Wi-Fi
What
is
the
still
fuck?
okay.
hello.
Yeah, mine is fine too. I think it's Ian.
Am I
Ian fucked
alone?
up. Yo, can we talk
I
about
get
how
it.
big of a bitch he is?
Are you guys giving me the silent
Yeah,
treatment?
yeah.
I do want him to come back though.
I
Oh,
thought
God.
surely he would not like this movie. I thought,
Oh God.
literally,
I hope he
anytime.
can't. I hope he can't hear me right now. Well, no, I'm not gonna say anything bad, but I when I watched it, I was like, Jarrett's gonna hate this. Ian's gonna love it.
Oh,
Really?
That's what I
Really?
thought. Yeah,
Dude,
I really
wanted
thought.
s-
I thought. So when he said he was gonna be the one defending Tokyo Godfathers, I
Oh,
was kind of
God.
surprised because I thought this one was gonna be like his bread and butter. I mean, dude, the podcast just got 100 times better. What?
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, that was you, dude.
That was not me.
Yeah, we were fine.
Both me and Jarrett have been talking the whole time. Like we're both
I know.
fine.
No,
So that
no,
was-
no,
that was
doesn't mean
you.
it's me. Just because you're trying to kick me off the podcast.
I am
doesn't mean you blame me for
hardwired.
everything.
Like I have an Ethernet cable connected to my router. Like,
That's
it's not
bullshit.
fucking me.
That's made up. That's not even real.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. I made it up. So anyway, about this anthropomorphic wolf sex, that's totally real.
Yes.
No, okay. So I do want to clarify really, really quickly. I probably will throw, and Ian, you were saying this,
Oh,
a
yeah,
few
that's
jokes
fine.
about furries out there. No hate. Absolutely nothing inherently wrong with furries at all. Like,
It did seem
totally fine. I'm not trying to project that shit. I have a good friend, who is a self-proclaimed furry. One of the nicest, most genuine fucking dudes on the entire planet. Absolutely great person. And the way that he expresses it, and I'm not going to speak for him because it's not my place, but it is a very wholesome and understandable and very genuine, I guess, identity. I'll just use that catch-all kind of phrase because I don't want to butcher it. I don't want him to see this and be like, fuck you, man. But yeah, so nothing against being a furry. I just want to clear that shit out there. Like, I'm not gonna dox this. I'm not gonna go with a however, but I will down the road like mention a few things that I took issue with, and I want to distance them as far away from like the fear of the furry sexuality. I don't want to call it. Is it a sexuality or
taste?
Fetish? I don't know, and I'm so sorry if I'm being insensitive. But
My guy, there's way more
think we'll be
problems
all right.
than furry fan service.
I'm not saying fans, but yes, there are more problems. But I'm saying like problems that I do have, and I will mention that come off as kind of fetishy in the movie, and a little uncomfortable, and a little just fucking funny in general. I don't want them to be an attack on like furries. I'm more looking at it as the movie itself, because like ain't nothing wrong with being a furry. Just want to clear the air. That's me personally. I can't speak for you guys, but I'm assuming y'all feel the same way.
No,
You fucking hate them?
hate them. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's all good.
Shit. Okay. Yeah, but I did want to clear that up. So, Jared, do you want to kind of give us a rundown of...
whoa. Ian's got to give his...
Well,
Oh,
yeah, I
fuck,
gotta
Ian. Oh, shit. I totally forgot he existed.
Wow, I didn't... I was joking about kicking him out of the podcast.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
All right. Ian, what were your thoughts on
Okay.
children?
So, I sort of agree with you at the beginning. At the beginning, I was like, corny, kind of corny. Yeah, I see what they're going for here. Okay. And then I was a little off put by they're like, you want to go back to my place or whatever. And then you see like the giant like anthropomorphic hand like come in. You're like, whoa, okay. And then you see his head come in, and it's not like I guess maybe the furry connection again, lightly. They do him up a little bit, right? It's not like he's just a werewolf. They do him up a little bit in like sort of like he's a hot werewolf kind of thing. You know what I mean? Which is fine. I mean, he definitely has his hot werewolf qualities, but
For sure. I mean, if I were to fuck a werewolf.
If I was to fuck a werewolf, he would be the one.
Him than Taylor Lautner, for sure.
Yes. Although
Michael J. Fox?
I haven't seen whatever you're referencing.
Teen
You mean
Wolf.
Sensei?
Teen Wolf. From the 80s.
I don't watch Teen Wolf.
From the 80s. The movie.
Yeah, I wasn't alive then, dude.
Me neither.
So
Either way. Another thing I noticed is that when he's a human wolf, he's like twice as large as he is when he's a regular wolf. But that's not the point.
Isn't that standard for werewolves?
I don't think werewolves
animals?
turn into wolves.
Well, if you look
They
in the
can.
movie,
They're
There's
like turn into
No,
regular
there's three
wolves.
forms. There's base human, there's a hybrid, which is like the man beast, and then there's a wolf.
I didn't know
So
you
for
were a
someone-
lycanthropist.
Yeah, I was about to say, for someone who supposedly did not like this movie, you know a good bit about this shit. Are you telling
Werewolf
me you
lore
hated
has
this?
nothing to... No.
You hated this because it wasn't sexy enough?
I wasn't
Exactly.
I wasn't familiar with that werewolf lore there. Okay.
No,
Okay.
but if you look at the two kids in the movie, they're about the same size when they're in wolf
Yes.
form as they are.
Yes.
So I get where you're coming from, Ian, but also if you like watch like, God, I hate to bring
Anything
this
with the
reference up.
werewolf?
Harry
Yes.
Potter.
Yeah.
Lord, forgive me for my sins for being an adult and bringing that shit up.
Hey, don't hate on the Potter community. That's a sexuality too.
In fact, I would say we need Potter more.
That's about enough out of you. Anyway.
That's a joke for all you Potterheads out there. Yeah, sorry, Ian. Anyway.
Thank you. I was a little like I watched them one after another. I watched it and then I just turned on the next one and watched that. After I made some taquitos and poured some goldfish for myself. But I watched them one after another and I was like 30 minutes into Wolf Children and I was like, I don't think this is nice. This is good, I guess, but like it's not gonna be because I knew it was famous as well.
Yeah.
But then as it went, like you said, I was endeared to the characters and I was kind of worried where they were going to kind of go. And I was really feeling for the mother and her difficulties. And by the end, at least the story between the boy and the mom, I was ripped to shreds. I wasn't bursting into tears or anything, but like it ripped me apart. Like I was just like, oh God. 1,000 times more, albeit entirely different movie than I expected I was going to be from Grave of the Fireflies, where I was left like, okay. But I was like, even today, when I would have to kind of stop thinking about the movie because of how, like, oh God, that's, and so I had to like, I gotta stop. I gotta get to work. I gotta stop thinking about that.
I do agree with you. I do think that they. I know you brought up Grave of the Fireflies, which I know is like default sad, but also like they have kind of the same mythos in a way. Like, oh shit, like this one will rock you. Like is what I had heard from like it's like they're very very highly acclaimed, but also like very very like gut wrenching. Obviously, Grave of the Fireflies is understood a little bit more so than Wolf Children. Like I know it's a lot more, but I do agree there.
I thought of this yesterday. I was gonna say that. Tokyo Ghoul, Tokyo Godfathers, is a heartwarming movie about heart-wrenching topics, and then Wolf Children is a heart-wrenching movie about heartwarming topics, and like everyone's happy at the end of Wolf Children generally, but it's still like, oh God, it really hit me, and then the opposite, or not the opposite, but. In Tokyo Godfathers, everyone's still at the end, kind of like still in not a great situation. Although they may have won $400 million.
Yes, they definitely won $400 million. I did want to mention
they may
that.
not have. Given Jin's sort of characteristics, I could see him easily being like, "Oh, I was told to throw this away," and just being like, throwing that shit away. I could see that being a scene earlier in the movie.
Also, I don't know
Japan's
Japan's taxing of lotteries. If it's like the U.S.'s,
they will still have more money than they do. But yes.
Any money is more than they do.
Yeah.
But that's it was heart-wrenching to me. Was
Ian,
my take from it.
These are the biggest bars that you've spit on one of these episodes. When you were like,
that you agree with, or that I'm
just when you were like, it's a heart-wrenching themes with a heartwarming movie, but like a heart-wrenching movie with heart.
No, that was incredible.
Mad bars.
I love that you were moved by it, and I wanted to. I really.
Here comes the condescension.
I understand.
But
no. The condescension. No, that's not condescension. I think that's.
I'm fucking around. I'm sorry, Jared.
That's the way it was with me with Grave of the Fireflies. I wanted to like have that feeling, and I left it like I don't know. It was sad, but I wasn't like impacted, and so I can't see why you weren't, because obviously it's just sort of different strokes for different folks. But like. But I understand that is something that does happen with, just some things hit people differently. Well, I don't think I'll be able to watch. I don't know if I'm not going to watch Wolf Children ever again just for pleasure, unless I'm showing it to somebody. Like it was definitely like oh God, like it was a really bittersweet, but way more bitter than sweet.
There are parts of that I would go revisit, but I do agree with you. Like it is not one that I will just fucking pop in from here on out. Like I could go watch Mirai like 12 times in a row.
Yeah.
You will not catch me like making myself sit through Wolf Children unless like I'm trying to get to something specific or show it.
Okay. Well,
I like that.
Well,
All right,
now
I
that
do
we've
want to
all
hear
gone over our
Jared's
things-
dissension, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's get into the nitty gritties of what we feel about this.
I think I guess I can just go through my notes here.
Okay.
And then I can sort of provide a. Let me start off with, you guys already touched upon it. To me, the first 30 minutes weren't just kind of like, eh. I thought the first 30 minutes were fucking garbage. I felt like I was watching Oscar bait. The movie, it felt so much like, it honestly, and I was thinking this while I was watching it. I was like, this is the exact same as when a Hollywood actor plays somebody with like some form of mental issue. He's just a werewolf.
I don't know.
That is what I felt while watching the first 30
No,
minutes.
it's very like basic, but I think it's just supposed to be very basic. I mean, the whole movie's kind of supposed to be basic.
No, to me, it was like,
hold up. I'm just fucking imagining Forrest Gump as a wereman fucking this bitch now.
I'm sorry. I hated it.
Smart werewolf.
Look at it. You hated the beginning.
Yes, it literally felt like I was watching A Beautiful Mind. Like, I was like,
God.
I
felt like it was
hated
supposed to be pleasant.
But it was.
I feel like it was supposed to be
me,
like
it was
uncontroversially pleasant. Like it was supposed to be like as palatable as you can possibly imagine,
But-
to
but-
the extreme.
So my problem, very beginning, is, for me at least, I don't know jack about this chick. She's on scholarship. She likes outcasts, and her name. She's named after
likes him.
flowers. She's named after flowers.
Yes, for which she smiles.
And then I go through this 30-minute, just unbearable, pretentious love fest where they're just speaking to each other in poetry.
That's why
And
you
it
need
was
to
just
be confident,
awful.
because
It was
flower.
grueling.
He wanted me to
And, like,
smile
I don't
all
know
the time,
anything
just
about
like
him
that
either.
cosmos did.
Okay,
The-
he I'm checking the movie again. He dies within the first 20 minutes.
Yup.
Okay, then I will say pretty much, actually, I'm going to say until Yuki starts going to school, I was struggling. I was really struggling.
Wow.
But the dad, like, the only thing, like, his character to me was, he's a werewolf. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, I think he's just sort of supposed to be like a figure, kind of. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of character. You're right there.
Yeah.
Exact. And so I had to sit through, we'll say, 20-ish minutes of that. And so when the death happened, actually, let me just go through our notes here. A huge point. Before they moved to the country, the use of 3D was garbage, dude. I know why the rest of the movie sucked, dude, because the budget went into the 3D at the beginning. That shit looked awful. It looked awful, and it was so unnecessary. Like, just
Where? What specific
Yeah,
points
where?
were you talking about? Because I don't know if
Everything.
I remember that as much.
Any-
The only thing
Anytime-
I noticed was when like pedestrians walking, like their heads would shift. and it
Exactly.
would be,
There's a
like,
ton of
weird.
scenes of them just walking around. They're just walking along the campus. They're in the street. It was just so.
Keep going, I'm gonna
there-
be right back.
Oh, you're good.
I noticed that. Yeah.
But there was even some points where there was only like 2 to 3 characters, and they're just CG, and it looks bad.
the
you know
whole
what?
thing's
But
CG, isn't it?
no. The main characters were. I mean, there were certain points later on that were CG, but especially in
I
the
think the whole
beginning.
thing is.
Mm-mm. I think the main
so.
characters are hand drawn.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
So and another, to me at least, what made it look so bad is I thought I think I have it somewhere on here. Hang on. Okay. I wrote all this money for 3D, but the main characters are so flat and stoic. Because to me, I already didn't give a shit about the main chick and the werewolf. Didn't care about them at all.
Yeah.
And to me at least, it was begging for me to sympathize with their plight, with the guy's plight. I empathized with it, but I didn't sympathize. So I already
see
did.
that. I
I
see what you
already
mean.
didn't like them. And then on top of that, they are drawn so blandly that the 3D just sticks out so much more, and I hated it. I hated it. It's just the whole time I'm thinking, why are they 3D? You can draw crowds. Like, yes, in certain instances, when you have a massive crowd, it's good for 3D. But it shouldn't be to the point where I literally can't even focus on the main characters because fucking Zoo Tycoon 3 from '98 guy is walking beside them.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Dude,
Um,
I'm fucking here. Oh God,
I can't.
I've
but
been
it didn't
so
really-
ready for slander of one of these movies. Like
I
I've
know,
been just
yeah.
like hoping to get like a bad fucking movie so I can just be like, oh fuck this.
Yeah.
It was about time. We
It
needed
was about
one.
time. So thank you, Jarrett.
So
Whether
I'm
I
going,
share your sentiments or not, I just want to say first and foremost, thanks.
Sure,
I'm
I don't-
enjoying it.
I don't share.
If
I
I
don't share
get
the
hate-
vitriol for those.
Yeah, if I get hate for it, it is what it is, man. I'm sorry.
I mean, you
like I
will,
said,
but
I wanted to enjoy this movie so much, but and that may play a role in why it just struck a bad nerve with me. I don't know.
This might come as like a duh, you fucking idiot. I've already considered this, and like it doesn't
Oh.
change the fact. But I might mention a lot of your qualms, I'll say, can be put to rest. But like if they still bother you, like that's fine. But with the whole like you don't know shit about the mom and like the dad's kind of bland and that kind of shit. I mean, it is narrated by the daughter.
Yes.
Like we are learning through her perspective. So yeah, we don't follow her 100% of the time, but she wouldn't probably know much about her mother besides those interactions that her mom has with the father.
so
in
I
those
will
times
actually
leading up.
I will address
But
that.
that might not put everything
Okay.
to rest, which is why I was saying like this
Yeah,
might
it's-
not be
it's
like I'm not
not-
trying to
it-
play it like a trump card or
No,
something.
you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. It's not purely cosmetic. It is not just cosmetic. Like, why did they animate it like this? I have a-
the
I-
animation.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
is that,
like I
Is
said.
that what you're talking about? You talking about character development, Houston, or are you talking about animation?
I was talking about like the reason why I was not talking about the way that they looked. I was more talking about like why you said you didn't know shit about the mom and like the dad was kind of bland and you couldn't really sympathize too hard.
Well, it's
But it was
sort of
just like
similar
all
to
you were learning about their how you hated that love story, but like that's what the mom would have told the kids. You know what I mean?
That's
and-
fair,
and
and,
so-
and I will bring
and
up a
you
point
can still
later.
say like that's a shitty fucking like you're just like I just hated that that's the direction. Like I wish I would have just watched the movie happen rather than the daughter narrating it
no,
as to
I
avoid
like
that. But
I like the idea of that, and I'm gonna address why it pisses
Alright.
me off, and I'll get to. I won't say pisses me
Okay.
off. I mean, I was fine, but let me just keep going through this. So honestly, it's very similar to what you were saying with Jen, where you were saying I don't really know this guy, and you're just gonna drop that out of nowhere. To the point where the dad dying just felt so I like I said, it felt very Oscar baity to me.
yeah,
Whereas like
that was one of my least favorite parts.
yeah. Yeah. Let's see. What else?
It's all instrumental, though, isn't it? That's what I'm thinking. It's all sort
It
of
needed to
instrumental to a
happen.
greater
Like we all knew it was
purpose.
coming, right? You knew it was coming. You knew the
Yes,
dad was going to
yes,
die because that's the
yes.
plot synopsis. So I understand it being like quick, but I do agree with Jarrett. It was just kind of like what? One, it
Yeah.
was just in such a weird way.
Well,
Yeah.
and
One thing
they-
that's weird to me is he had
it just
pheasant
made no
feathers
sense.
all over
Like-
him. He had pheasant feathers all over him, and he
Well,
was in the
dude,
ditch.
they
It's
also-
like, what?
they also
He got
made
hit by
point.
a car or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming
Yeah.
happened. Because
Why are there pheasants in Tokyo?
He was hunting for his kid, probably. She was like,
Yeah,
nobody really knows what he was doing, but maybe his instincts took over and he had to
Yeah.
go hunt for. But like, I do
Okay,
agree
yes,
with you,
that's fair.
Jarrett. Like,
Dude,
why
it
the
doesn't
fuck?
make
Like,
any
do you wait
sense
a
'cause
whole
he already-
year to do that shit?
yeah, he had
Yeah.
already chosen being human. Am I supposed to? Is he just like unstable as fuck? I didn't get that vibe the whole
I don't
time.
think
If they
it's-
would have,
I don't think it's black and white.
if they would have dove a little bit harder into like
yes,
instinct and
yes.
feeling, like later on in the movie, I could kind of see it, and I guess they did a little bit with the son, with the boy, but not to that extent. I don't know. I think it was just kind of, to me, it was like he ended up dead, and they have no idea why.
Yeah, that's sort of. I think
Um,
that's fair the way you feel about
But
it.
having him
but-
be dead in wolf form, I think, kind of made the scene a little bit more impactful because no one could be sympathetic towards her. She couldn't bury him. Like, it was a dead wolf, so like she was like going to go cry over it, and the garbage, like he got put in a garbage truck. like in a compactor, and they were just like, "Hey, get the fuck away from this! This is a dead animal."
And then,
So
then she has to go
so
home
I
and she's
understand
got 2
that
kids.
him being in wolf form and dying had to happen. But yes, I kind of do agree with you, Jared. It kind of was just, I knew it was coming, but it still came out of nowhere. And I was like, damn, that kind of
I could see that. I could see that.
It was not handled super well, but yeah, sorry.
Some of the things. Oh, you're good. Some of the things I wrote down were nitpicky. Like I specifically wrote. Hold on. Let me let me find it. Oh, I said, pick up your umbrella. You have an infant. When she runs over to the dog or to the husband, and it's like, oh my god, she fucking left her umbrella, and that kid's getting
That is
rained
really
on.
nitpicky.
It's I know. So let me just keep going through. In all caps, why is there?
That would be.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That would be nitpicky if that was even a real person.
Yes, I know.
Not
I know.
to.
Yes.
I know.
Sorry.
No,
It's
you're
not the
good.
point.
You're good. Why is in all caps? Why is there 3D in every shot? We're still in the beginning. We're still in the beginning here.
Yeah.
Wolf is ugly as hell. Thank God
Hot
this
as hell, I think you mean.
Oh no, I thought the wolf could have been designed so much better. Anyways,
could've designed
sorry,
an animal
I'll
wolf.
try not focus on the cosmetic things.
No, that's okay. Those are fun.
I said in all caps, bro, turn back before you fuck. I said, thank God this exists, so B-stars knew what to do. That's a recent anime that's all about anthropomorphic animals.
I'm
it's really good.
familiar.
Are you talking about
Yes.
Animorphs?
And yeah, he's talking about Animorphs, the animated series.
Yes.
Fucking love Animorphs, bro.
I said, Jesus Christ, the montages. There were just so many, and I was so tired of them. And that sort of falls into another note I had on the other page, is that the music is just overly sappy. It sounded like we're starting with strings. Hey, run that track back, and let's just add like a couple piano keys on it. Hey, run that track back. Let's add like a little bit of synths.
Yeah.
I do agree with you at the beginning. The music was kind of basic.
Oh, I do have a note that during the scene when Fox
milky.
when Ame and the fox are running through the wilderness, that music was great, and the music
the
eventually
farther
got better.
the farther
Yeah.
into the movie, I think everything just got better the farther we went into the movie. I
will
agree with you. The
agree.
beginning of the movie kind of blew,
Yes.
even though I liked it. It kind of sucked.
Let me
Not everything, Ian. Chill. All right.
So yeah, I kind of
Give me a kiss.
chilled out on the notes after a minute because I was like, okay, I'm getting too pissed. Let me just kind of summarize. I think the movie would have been great if one, it's just a simple slice of life, and they're just not wolves, and they're just something's wrong with them, and the wolves seemed trite to me and unnecessary. Two, I know, bad take, I know. Or
Not a bad.
Just
take,
different
but
take.
Different.
or the movie. So this, I'm bringing up the point I had earlier. The movie was narrated by Yuki, and so in the beginning I was like, okay, I guess this is her understanding of the situation. But there were multiple times in the movie where Yuki is not present, and the mom's just doing stuff, and it's like, okay, she just told you about this. You're just vibing, okay. But then the movie, it can't decide whether it's about the kids, specifically them, or it's about the mom, or it's about their relationship. And I was
the
getting
mom.
annoyed.
It's about both.
But
Well, no, you're more
It is
the
the
mom. though,
mom.
You're right.
It's
you're
the
mom.
mom.
but
I think if you could boil it down to anything, it's the mom.
and so let's if
But
we're
I do see
assuming
what
to,
you're
though.
saying. I do see what you're saying.
But if we're assuming it's about the mom, and sorry, let me finish that point. The movie would have
You're
been
fine.
way better if it was just negate the whole backstory. It doesn't matter. Yuki is a wolf child. The dad's dead, and the mom is raising her as a single mother. Remove Ame entirely. I'm sorry to say that, Ian.
You
I
can't
could
remove
not-
Ame.
I could not stand Ame. I thought
I
he was,
loved Ame, dude.
I thought he was just
loved
straight
Ame.
Hang on.
baggage.
I loved Ame. He's the best part.
So yes, I'm sorry. Ame to me
not okay.
was just straight baggage and annoying. So if the movie was purely about Yuki, and yes, she's narrating, and maybe she checks in on her mom telling the story. If it was purely about Yuki, and Yuki going through elementary school, and she's internally deciding because she likes being a wolf and she likes being a human, I think it would have been way better. Sort of a slice of life, fantastic kind of comedy. I would have loved it. But every time Yuki happened, I was like, oh, this is super interesting. I care so much more. We cut back to Ame, who as soon as the beginning scenes were like, oh, Yuki really likes being a wolf, and Ame's like a little bitch boy. I was like, okay, they're probably gonna grow out of that and probably swap. And then it happened, and then Ame the whole time is just like,
Oh,
yo, my master, yo, he showed me the forest, bub. And I hated that the mom, just for whatever friggin' reason, just goes after Ame and almost essentially cares, basically solidifies what we were thinking, or that I was thinking, that like she just cares more about Ame initially because he is more like a human than a wolf. I hated it. I hated it.
Ian, do you want to take this rebuttal, or do you want me?
I would like to take this rebuttal.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I thought I sort of was wondering the same thing. She's running out into the woods, and it's like you did just get a call about your daughter. However, in the context of her knowledge of the way that Ame is leaning, means more to her, because it doesn't mean Ame has just run off in the woods for tonight. It means that Ame is leaving us and leaving me forever. My 10-year-old son is not abandoning the family, but he is embarking on his own. He does not plan to come back. He's running away in a sense. And she remembers, at least at some point, when she's sort of fainting, that she has to pick up her daughter and things like that. And she's definitely concerned about that. But I think she has much greater sort of existential fear of like her children leaving her forever, which is palpable in that moment for her son, who is like basically like, see ya, right? It's not like, I'm going out for the night, Mom. It's like, he is disappearing, which she knows he wants to do anyway. Yeah. And now it's manifesting, and she's afraid of that, which is the biggest part to me at the end. I see what you mean, though, in the sense that I was thinking the same thing, at least at first. Like, wait a minute, don't you have another one somewhere, in a storm?
Yeah.
Sorry. Would you like to? You got anything to add on that rebuttal?
Yeah,
I think sick rebuttal.
I think there are multiple ways that you could take that, and I like what you said. And yes, that looming fear is there, no matter which way that you take this. You can take it as Yuki has always kind of been the problem child growing up, and Ame has been the one to cling to his mother, and she's afraid of letting that go. You can be like, this kid is literally fucking leaving, and she's just like, my children need me, on an equal footing, but like he's the more like Yuki can spend the night in a gym, but if Ame goes, he's gone forever, like you were saying. But you can also see he's animated, and I think this goes back into what I was talking about in Mirai, where it's just like Hosoda's really good at showing familial resemblance. Like, he is the dad in a way.
In a way.
And I think he's a little bit of a reflection, but like that's, yeah, she still has Yuki, and yeah, like that'll be all right. I don't think she like loves Ame more or anything, like you were saying. I think you're wrong on that one, Jarrett. That like it solidified that she cared about Ame more because he was more like a human at the beginning. I didn't get that one at all, but I think it's more he's a reflection of her husband. A little bit, like she sees.
I didn't get that.
She sees his father in him, and she's just like, no, I don't want you to go, because he also, it is a big thing that he did die as a wolf, like.
Well, I think you can make the parallel as well, that I think you can maybe say that the dad, like, he acted as if he was okay being a human and living a human life, but that kind of plays into like, we don't really know what happened that day, and that maybe he truly did want to continue being a wolf, and now Ame is sort of furthering that. I don't know.
I don't know if I would go that far. The closest I would see is that like he is reminiscent of the father, and she's just like, I don't want to let that part go. Like I made the promise to him to raise these children, and yes, him going away is me stopping raising the children, but also at the same time, I'm every day losing more pieces of you, like in a way. And I'm not saying you have to take it that way. I'm saying, but any way that you take it, I agree with you, Ian. Like the reason she goes after Amit, because I did think that too. It's just like, holy shit! Like the whole time me and Lydia were watching, we were like, is she ever gonna go get her fucking daughter? Like, like the whole time we were like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
This
what
bitch
point
is
do you
still in
turn
school.
around? Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, oh my god, bitch, go home. Like, you know, but I understand that's a moment of desperation. Like the reason she keeps going, and even after she encounters a bear, you know what I mean? Like she's just like desperate because she does not get Ame back, and even her dream
It's shown
is like, he's
in
lost.
the dream.
He's
Or
lost.
He's lost. Like she sees him wandering the same way she saw him wandering in her dream when the father died. Which I guess is which is parallel to the father. But it's like he's not dead to her. Yeah, she did, but it was him. It was the boy at first.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the boy. She confused him for the boy.
I don't know. I think it was, and it became the boy. They
had the same hairstyle, and
yeah,
I don't know if you noticed, he started dressing like his dad at the end of the movie. He would wear that
white shirt.
When he became more of a wolf, he would wear the same white shirt with like the scoop collar, and like he had the same kind of like the way that he kind of, I don't want to say mope around, but the way that he walked and moved, just very sluggish but also purposeful, was the exact same way. Like,
yeah,
I think he was supposed to mirror the dad. I
think that she was supposed to mirror the dad only in the sense, at least in the way it hit me, he was supposed to mirror the dad only in the sense that she was losing him. She felt like she was losing a member of her family, and she felt like he was not. He was dying in a sense. He was going to be gone forever in the same way that she had lost another family member. Not in the sense that it was like, or at least to me, it didn't strike me in the sense of like, I'm losing my husband again, but more so in the sense that I'm losing one of the most important things in my life again.
Yes.
He's
yeah, I guess I wasn't super clear about it. When I'm saying he's like mirrors the dad, is not just like, oh, this piece of you, and I have said that, but it's very much like, it's more about her reactions to it. So like when he mirrors the dad and he walks away, she's not like, oh no, that's my husband going, but she's feeling the same things that she felt. Like she's going through it again. And that's more what I'm saying, is he's a reflection of the dad, and she's losing a piece of him, is more like she's just like desperate to go find him because like, I can't do this again. Even though it's not the exact same, she's reacting like trying to protect from it. But I don't know.
But she realizes
any way that you take it, I do agree with you, Ian, that like that is why she goes after him specifically. But yeah,
great movie.
It was a pretty good movie. I will say I'm going to bring up the things, my gripes, and what I
have.
Or do you want to jump in first here? Cuz I think you should close it out, and then we can do comparisons. But I will go with like like my gripes and what I liked a good bit.
Okay.
I liked. No. I'll start with the gripes. One, the old man. I really thought
Clint Eastwood and El Torino.
What? Gran Torino?
Yeah, Gran Torino.
Yes. Mr. Gran Torino.
He was exactly.
I really thought
he looked like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, he did. I really thought he was going to either be a wolf or continue to be a facet in their lives, but like he was good to them for no fucking reason. And we never and we never figure out what, even though it's alluded to when he's not around. That's the thing. If they would have just left it alone, like he was just passing by and was like, "You fucking suck, but do it this way," I would have been fine with that. But then later, all her neighbors taking care of her, like, it was the old man that made us do this. I was why?
You knew he was a softie the whole time.
You did know he was and I was okay with him just being a softie, but I think they made him a little too important and then just let go of him. Like the fact that he doesn't appear at all in the last half of the fucking movie.
I think that's in character.
It was a minor gripe, but I was just kind of like, I figured it was a little bit more unnecessary. Like, it just didn't have any profound effect on the latter half of the film. And so I was just kind of like, and the first half of the film and the last half of the film were not as distanced I guess, even though time skipped, like they were still like intrinsically connected to me, because of just like location and position and stuff. Like I think a big shift happened without the man, and would have happened without the man. So yeah, that was a big thing. Also, just I wanted to love it. I wanted to love every bit and let every emotional high hit me, and I don't think it did. And not because it did anything wrong, other than I couldn't fucking take it seriously when one of the humans was animated like a wolf. Why the fuck did they not all just look like the master? The way that the master wolf was animated looked normal. Every time you saw Ame turn into a wolf, he looked...
Master Fox?
Yes, Master Fox, or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He looked kind of like a cross between like a dog and a DeviantArt post.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the... No, 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 no.
And so when he has that emotional moment with his mom, like half of me was like crying because like I was feeling the emotional resonance because it was such a powerful scene. And the other half of me was like, he looks so dumb. How does she know? And it was just a...
Yeah, I could see that. I could see what you mean.
It was just
Strong
really hard.
agree. Strong agree.
That was the thing that I tried to preface, being like, I'm not trying to attack. There's nothing wrong. And I think for me the whole time I was like agreeing with you, Jarrett, for a long time. But then I think it shifted to where I was like, why the fuck can't this just be something else? Why do they have to be wolves? You know, why can't this just be... A lot of these are issues that are inherent to people as well. Like, I mean, I think that was the point. But by the end of the movie, I was like, I get it. I get why they had to be wolves. Why did they have to look so fucking dumb? That was what I ended up with. So it wasn't like I got to the point to where I think I understood the movie, and I think I was affected by the movie. But there were just points where I was like, what the fuck? Yes, like you said, Ian, when the paw comes on the screen before they have sex, and the way Ame especially looked. But I agree with you too, Jared. I loved everything that had to do with Yuki. And
when
I think...
they have...
Yeah.
When they like when they're still human but their faces go wolf, they look like those like party like birthday masks that you would wear of like animals.
Oh, dude,
you know
I thought they looked like
They looked
zoo
like fucking
pals.
zoo pals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look yeah.
Dude, they did look like zoo pals. I want to put ketchup in all their ears while I dip fish sticks in them bitches.
Bark,
Oh my
zoo pal.
Oh my god. No, but I did love everything that had to do with Yuki. Trying to calm myself down. I liked everything that had to do with Yuki when she had gone to school, especially the fact that like early on when she was hyped to fuck to go to school, I didn't take any notes because I forgot to bring a notebook when I was watching it, but I typed a few things. Girl saves friend a seat even though there's no one on the bus. I thought that was cute. I don't know why. Dude.
No, that was really cute.
It was
that
adorable.
reminded me of like I got like a little like sort of like second grade bus like little feel of that. Like that was,
learning all the new curse words, getting the shit bullied out of you.
Exactly.
I remember those days.
I remember
Playing Mario
when I was on the
Kart.
bus and like
I wasn't rich enough to have a DS.
You get
I was
a
on the
DS.
bus
You have a
and-
party with everybody. It was
exactly that's
first date to
I just
join.
would have to watch
That
my
was fun as
friends.
shit. You only
I
had
had
one
to sit next
game.
to someone.
I was on the bus in second grade, and this third grader who like seemed like an adult, you know, as a second grader, like flicked me off, and I was like, "Oh, what does that mean?" I didn't know what that meant. I never seen that before, and so I went to school and I like flicked like somebody off, and he was like, and then like later on, he like brought me aside like in the bathroom, and he was like, "Do you know what that means?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "That means you hate God." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "That means you hate God." I was like, "Oh no!"
I got told that shit as well.
Really?
This means you're being like
Fuck
pointing
God,
at God.
yeah.
So I remember I taught my little sister when I was a kid. I was like, if you ever do this, it means you hate God. So point it down at the devil. So
I
would
think
be
I
like,
remember that too.
and so my little sister like was going around my parents. Remember, very very like conservative Christian, and so she was just like, I hate the devil, and they were like, what the fuck? Dude, I remember. But also, props on your friend for not fucking ratting you out. Like, every time, like, somebody would show me something on the bus and I would repeat it somewhere, I would get the shit kicked out of me by whatever adult was around.
He brought me aside and he was like, "Hey, like I don't know if you know this, but like,
What a
that
good
means you
fucking
hate God."
dude.
Yeah, he was cool.
Shouts
It was-
out to that guy. Hey,
oh,
if you're
sorry,
the guy.
that was Bob.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Yeah, shouts out to whoever the fuck told Ian this means you hate God. So
I know who.
anyway.
I remember who it was.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, probably don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll get him to sign, a waiver.
Non-disclosure.
No, not they can talk about it. I'm just saying, sign a waiver so we can.
No, this
mention-
is a secret podcast.
Oh yeah.
Jarrett, what the fuck were you doing a second ago? I didn't address.
I got
that,
out of
but-
focus again. Sorry.
And you're in focus now, and
Yeah.
coming like 2 inches from the camera, like sort of like makes it track you all the way back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other gripes or loves did you have? Houston?
The only other thing, and it's half a love and half a gripe, and I don't know if you guys will. Hang on. Sorry.
He's got hair in his face, everybody.
I don't.
Wait,
I don't
he
know
had
if you
hair
guys
in
will
his
agree
face?
with.
he
Wait,
did.
dude.
He had a little hair
Wait.
in his face.
Lydia's my
Okay, good.
partner. No.
Partner in crime.
So, speaking of Lydia, she had actually brought this one up, which is this sentiment that we both share. But she was like, "How the fuck?" And I understand this as well now to be like, I understand like why people are just like mad weebs, and fucking would kill to go live in the anime world for a multitude of reasons. One, it just looks so cool, and it's like the perfect form of escapism, other than like the NBC sitcom Community.
And
But
masturbation.
and well, that's not
Obviously, yeah.
yeah. But why do anime women look so fucking good with bobs, but real women don't?
I think
I don't know. I feel like they always give like old 50-year-old women bobs.
I think
What are
real
you fucking
women
talking
look
about? The
fine
main
with
character in
bobs.
this movie had a bob. Miyuki in Tokyo Godfathers had a bob, dude. Okay, maybe they don't look bad. Not all women look bad in bobs. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying the level
That you
to,
hate
like,
women? Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Yes, I
That's
fucking
what I'm
hate,
getting
no.
too.
There is no haircut
Mute him again.
that is inherently better in, fiction or animation than in real life, except for bobs.
I think
Mohawks.
cornrows look a lot better in animation.
Yeah,
than real life.
cornrows, mohawks,
Afros.
afros. Most of
Are you
all,
guys
most
just
of all in
racist?
anime.
What the? Have you never seen like a black person with fucking an afro or cornrows? They look.
Well, see,
absolutely
whenever
fine.
No.
whenever
We're
any
talking
person
about-
has cornrows, it's like
Yeah, it's very
realistic.
twiggly.
You have,
We're
like-
not talking about
yeah,
it looks bad.
we're talking about like perfect
Yeah.
lines going.
yeah,
on.
Well, I'm not talking about perfect lines because all hair.
Well,
is that
mohawks.
way.
Mohawks, you can have like 3 foot tall mohawks in like animation and stuff.
You can have that shit in real life too. if
Yeah,
you're
but it
a
doesn't
little
look
bit
the same.
it
It
is
doesn't
not
look
as
as
slick.
good.
Yeah, it's
it
not
doesn't
as
look.
slick.
It doesn't
It's
look
not
as
as-
good. Come
Yeah,
on.
well,
not as-
obviously
Well,
nothing's gonna be as,
the main
everyone,
anime haircut.
We'd
that
be
looks
like,
great.
oh, skin is so much
Disheveled
better in
hair.
animation because they don't have fucking pimples. Yeah, no shit.
Yes.
I'm talking about just straight up like in general, aesthetically, bobs are better in anime than they are in real life, and
That's fair.
nothing else, as in its general aesthetic, is that.
I think
except for,
pigtails
like,
are
maybe-
Yes.
generally.
Jarrett, I think you're gonna agree with us on this one. Male disheveled hair.
Yes,
like the
absolutely.
aesthetic
Okay,
of like
okay,
have
I'll say
disheveled
that.
hair, and it's like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
everywhere.
perfect wave.
I'll
and
give
it's just, like,
I'll give you
leaning
that
down.
shit. The faux bedhead of anime.
yeah, faux bedhead, and it's just
Yes.
like perfect.
Oh my
and, like,
god.
yeah,
All right,
perfectly.
I will
lit
say
and
that.
everything.
So the female side is bobs, and the male side is that like fake bedhead.
Kind of like I didn't even do anything with my hair, but it's like
Yes.
a hair that you could never get if you wanted to in a million years.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just wanted to
Okay,
bitch about
I see the
that
bob thing though.
because when anime women have any other hairstyle, I'm like, oh yeah, it looks good because it's animation and someone got to draw it perfectly. But like, I know women like that who have just as decent hair, even though it, sometimes is a little frizzy or doesn't sit right because it's real. No problem with that. But there's just something about anime bobs, man. I mean,
You got a thing
all
for
the
bobs, bro.
best.
That's cool.
I don't have a thing for bobs, personally, until I watch anime, and then I'm
Until
like,
you
what?
watch anime.
Because you can't get it nowhere else, at all. I'm talking. We have this movie. We had Tokyo Godfathers. We got fucking Garden of Words. We got Korra in season 3 of Legend of Korra. Like all
Who was
the
it in
best.
Tokyo Godfathers?
Miyuki.
Which one was that? The girl?
Yes.
I think the
Did she
mom
have a
and
bob?
It
Let's
was
make sure.
kind of a longer bob, but it was still short.
I think the mom
Compared
and
to
the
the-
A
Brady
bob is
Bunch.
just a wrapped up ponytail, right?
No,
The mom and
it's
the
like
Brady
a-
Bunch had like Justin Bieber's haircut, dude.
No, she eventually moved to a bob, or just kind of flowed down a little bit. I think she was good.
I don't remember the Brady Bunch. Once again, I was not alive for that one like you, so.
Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what I thought you were talking about when you were
What?
talking about bobs the whole time? I thought you were talking about buns. Like when a woman has like a bun on top of their hair. I thought that's what you were talking about. I was like, I don't know, maybe.
No,
I guess.
look up a bob
I was like, don't
haircut.
50-year-old women have those haircuts?
No,
Oh, okay.
bobs-
Bob.
bobs,
I see it now. Yeah.
If you look at who has bobs, like in reality, it's mostly Karens.
Ian, tell
I've
me.
seen some good bobs in real life.
No, I've seen some good bobs. When I first started dating Lydia, she had a bob, and like, don't get me wrong, it's not my favorite hairstyle of hers, but it was solid. It still doesn't hold a fucking. I fucking married her, and it doesn't hold a candle to those anime bobs.
Oh, Ian,
That's
you're
true.
killing me, dude. Tell me,
I thought you
tell
were
me-
talking about buns.
Tell me you've never met a woman without telling me you've never met.
They have names that are closed. Bob and Bun.
Yeah, dude,
It
what do
seems
I
like
gotta go
it's-
pick up from the store, dude? Yeah, get some hamburger and hot dog bobs.
Yeah, dude, car and rat are so similar, dude. I just get them confused all the time.
It just
dude.
feels like that little thing on top of the head, the bun on top of the head. It feels
a
like
bun.
a bob. That feels like a bob. It feels like that
What are
is
you
the
fucking
bob.
talk-
Like it feels like
I
a
guess-
unit. It
I
just
guess
stayed in
bob
my
is
head.
not-
I
I see
know,
bob as
I-
like bouncy and little like, and I
yeah,
think that's
I
what it's
kind of was
supposed to be.
thinking
No,
like a
no.
bobber.
No, that's a bun. That's
is
you
a
stuff
circle. A
everything
bobber
into
is a circle.
No.
Yeah, I know now. I know
What are you,
now. I'm
a
stupid.
bop it?
I looked up Bob just to make sure that there weren't any hot people with bobs, and I looked it up, and it was a completely different haircut, and I was like, oh, I'm thinking. of the
Nah,
wrong
Ian,
thing.
you're whack like this movie, dude. You're whack like this movie, dude.
Hey man, don't hate. I like disheveled hair. What can I say?
No,
Also,
I mean,
Bob is a hair. Buns are not haircuts. Buns are some. I could put my hair in a bun right now. I could not put my hair in a bob.
Well, you'd have to cut your hair.
you'd have
yes.
to build it.
So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Also, you don't have
haircuts.
the hairline for it. I don't think. I think women's hairline makes it. Right?
I can change my hairline.
The hairline has
No, I mean,
nothing
like,
to do
don't
with the
men's-
bob. No.
I
It-
think
or the
sorry,
bun.
not
men's
Sorry,
hairlines
the
hairline,
are
bun.
like
part.
pointed.
It's not about hairlines. It's about parts. You don't have long hair, Ian. You've never had long hair. You can't talk.
No, I've never had long hair. But I mean, like,
I have long
I'm looking from the pictures. It feels like straight across is the way you gotta have it. But like,
But
don't
when
you
your
have
hair
more,
is
like,
pulled back
pointed?
like that.
You part your hair the way that you want it to. You can repart your hair.
Also,
like-
Ian, there are plenty of
Yeah,
I don't want to take my.
I'm sure
I'm-
a woman, a person with long hair that has like a widow's peak, like I have a widow's peak, like they could still do a bun. Like it's not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm talking about bobs.
But yes, I'm saying it's ridiculous that you got buns confused with because buns. Anyone with semi long hair
That's
can have a bun.
That's a perfectly valid confusion.
No, it's not. One
Yes,
is a
it
one is a
is.
hairstyle. One is
No,
a way
it is
that
not.
you put your fucking hair up.
You
Like,
both
what?
know that I've never met a woman, and that you should sympathize with that.
Oh man.
That is true.
You're so out of focus.
What the fuck? All right, Ian. I think you should wrap us up on your thoughts about Wolf
Okay.
Children, and then we will do some voting. I know we didn't. This episode has not been as broad. It's been a lot more focused and a lot more distracted. But we're nearing the end,
I think
so
we've been pretty good.
I think we've been great.
Me too.
Like a bob.
Okay. So as I've
Anime
already said,
bobs only.
anime bobs only, or buns. That works too. Like I already said, this movie wrenched my heart, as you know, and affected me the day after. Particularly with the arachnid, whatever his name was, his storyline, but I think that that really affected me at the end. I do think my only gripe. I mean, I had all the gripes that you guys brought up are sort of like gripes. Like, yeah, I get that. I was just willing to ignore them. They're not like
Yeah.
necessarily invalid.
Yeah.
They're just things that I was like, yeah, I see that. One thing I did think is Yaki, right?
Yuki.
Girl? Yuki. Sorry, I write my A's like U's. Sorry, I wrote it down. Arachnid.
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
Arachnid and Yahtzee.
She got burned. I think she got burned a little in that
Yeah.
she spread her wings. I think the way that I think that there's sort of a parallel imagery with the mother falling down the hill and rolling through the woods has parallel imagery with them running down the snow-capped mountain and her falling and tumbling. Because in a sense, they can run faster than her, and they're sort of like escaping her, but they're still ultimately together. But they are something that they're going places she cannot follow because they're wolves.
Dang.
In that case. And then
Ian's on it
when
this
she's-
episode, man.
He's on it.
He's got to charge. He's got to charge up for 2 podcasts. And then
Yeah,
the third
for
one
at
he
least.
brings.
If you can just get names, Jared will have to be the new bitch of the podcast. Like, you'll take it. Sorry, keep going.
Oh, really? Am I that close? Oh, but I think that I noticed that there was parallel imagery there because when she's falling down the hill, it's sort of like triumphant because her children are evolving and they're coming into their own. And then when she's falling down the hill, it's sort of like almost a defeat in a sense where her children are becoming their own and they're leaving her, and sort of tragic in a sense. She's trying to chase them, but it's like they're uncatchable, right? They're not waiting up anymore. They're going their separate ways. But Yuki, I wrote it down wrong, is the way she goes her separate ways is very conventional and very human in ways that I think all modern mothers who don't have wolf children can sympathize with when their children sort of go on and move on to bigger things. But I think the biggest part with that is I didn't feel the emotional resonance, and I don't know if maybe other people have different sort of takes on it, but with that sort of context, especially in the real world, you have the validation from the party who is leaving. They can stay before they leave, talk to you and validate your feelings and say, I'm sorry, you're right, I'm really sorry, but I have to go on my own. But that sort of calls back to the question of why did they have to be wolves? And I think that was what was so potent to me about the story of the boy leaving, is that he was a wolf, and so he could not, since he was a wolf, like wolves don't emote naturally. He couldn't validate her feelings of loss of her children. She was just going. And I think that was the hardest part for her, was that, the girl's going to, obviously she's probably coming back at some point, but it's just like, he's not giving her anything. It just feels like he's just gone. And I don't think that I can think of instances that are like that, where somebody like dies, or when somebody like, gets into drug addiction, or they escape because they hate their mom or something. I can think of instances where you don't get the validation of like, I love you, but I have to leave. But all those instances are tragedies, and like, I feel bad. But she has to contextualize a context that feels tragic, where someone is leaving and they can't validate her emotions. However, he's leaving in a way that should be a time for celebration because he's found his own. And I think that's the biggest challenge for her. And I think that, unfortunately, Yuki doesn't get the same treatment, although that she comes to her own fruition, where she finds somebody who she's entering the human world, and she's struggling constantly because she's different than everyone else. And she finds somebody who understands her differences and appreciates her for those differences in the same way that her mother was to her father. She gets that validation back from that other guy. And so she goes on her own path, but it just like it's sort of like way different levels. It felt to me like I was like, oh, that's nice.
Could you
and
not
that's the way I
say
feel in a
then-
normal movie.
Could you not say then that yes, they're branching out on their own, they're making their own decisions, but then Yuki is meant to parallel the mom, whereas Ame is meant to parallel the dad?
I think they're
In
both
that
supposed to
way?
parallel both of them. I think they're both different mixes of different qualities of each of them, because unlike the mom originally had no trouble with interacting with people. She was just a happy-go-lucky, a simple woman. And then she meets the father, who is complex and no one understands him, which is more like Yuki. Yuki is entering a world where people don't understand her, and she needs that sort of understanding to cope. And the son is entering a world where he's essentially where he feels at home. Sort of the opposites, where the son is more like the mother, where they both feel at home, and the mother is like the father, where they both feel distant and they need that person to accept them.
Yeah.
But so I
do
think they
agree with
share a
that.
little bit of both. I think it's all mixed together, but that's what I like about it so much.
Yeah, I do think going into that, like the mom specifically, like before she had ended up, and I think like also I like what you say about like you don't get that time for the kid to grow and be like preparing to leave, or you preparing for them to leave, or them
Yeah.
being like, I'm sorry, but I have to go with the wolf. But also at the same time, she had just gotten this motherhood thing. Like the whole
Yes.
fucking movie was her being like, how do I do this shit?
Yes.
What the fuck? But so like finally she's like, I am satisfied. I can provide. My kids are growing up, and that moment of them rolling down the hill, you know, I like what you had said about that. She can never quite catch up to them, but she's just happy and that thing. She's still within reach, you know what I mean? She can still tumble down the hill even though it's a little bit less graceful. And I think that was a beautiful scene of them running through the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you
When I meant the
like,
falling through the woods, like the
well,
falling.
no,
like
I
when
know
she-
you meant
okay,
falling
okay,
through the
okay.
woods afterwards, but like it mirrored her falling down the snow-covered hill.
Yeah.
But that scene specifically, and then Ame hits his head, and then she's like, after that, like everything changed with Ame, but it wasn't just that; it was all of them together. She became more conscious of what people thought of her, and decided to take one path. Ame took another path, and the mother who had just gotten comfortable is about to have her whole fucking world rocked again.
Yeah.
But before that, she could never get a foothold. Yeah, she was working at the dry cleaners, but she was also working at the store and coffee shop. And then she was a student, but she was also a wife and a husband and a wolf mother and fucking so much shit.
Yeah.
A joker and a thief. No,
A
a woman.
wolf mother, exactly.
Wolf mother.
I thought this movie could have been called Wolf Mother as well.
Wolf mother, yeah.
But
Yeah. But yes, I do agree with you. Like I do like that, and I think that's why she can both be mirrored by or paralleled to her son and her daughter, and they can
Yeah.
both be paralleled to the father. And I think that's a big thing about like those dynamics shift halfway through the movie. And I think
They
that
do
was pretty
shift,
interesting.
yes.
I thought
but
that
it's not a
was- that
direct
was
black
good.
and white like opposite
No.
shift, but it's
I
complex,
mean, it
which I
does-
like about it.
On the surface,
There are elements,
it
yes.
does flip pretty one-to-one kind of thing on the surface, but it is deeper than that. I do agree. What? No, shit. Is Ian gone? I know we lost you for a second there, Ian.
Hold on.
But did you have?
No, I have a couple only a couple more brief comments.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's what I was about to ask. Do you still have more to
Yes.
say? Okay, cool.
Yes, sorry. I was gonna say that the movie Wolf Children made me. Did I lose you again?
Where did Ian go? Ian. All right, we'll try and wrap this one up, so Ian can stop glitching.
Sorry.
You're good.
I'll wrap it up quick before
you got
kicks
it.
me out again.
You got it.
I was gonna say the movie made me sympathize a lot with parents in a way, where one thing that you sort of but anticipate is that the reward for selfless love and trial and just sort of burgeoning, especially with the main character in this one, or the mother, you expect the reward for that is returned love in return. And so that's sort of what she is sort of searching after. But really what she has to learn to accept is that the reward that she gets is the success of her children in a way. She has to accept that has to be the end goal. That it can't be him being here and being with me and giving me that love that I want. It has to be his success on his own, doing whatever. And the same way with her daughter that has to be what she learns to accept.
Dude, Ian, you're on fire today with
Thank
the
you.
analysis. Well, I think we should do wrap-ups and then final votes. I guess to give Ian a little bit of time to think. Jared, if you want to go first and just wrap this one
First, I wanted to say, Ian, I don't know if you caught it. I remembered that second point from however fucking long ago it was in this podcast.
Yeah.
When I originally pitched this idea, I was thinking I'll be in the middle for normie opinions, and then you and Houston will sit opposite of each other, and you guys will argue over nuance and interpretation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was the original idea. And I think we were slowly, at least with we'll see how it goes from here, but at least in the case of Wolf Children, I think we're going into that mold right now.
Yeah.
So, everything you two have said, I absolutely understand and get where you're coming from, and I can totally, I respect both of your interpretations very much. And actually, I'm not even going to say interpretations. That's probably there, textually.
It's all subjective,
but
especially with this one.
A lot of it's subjective. I wouldn't say every single thing.
No, yeah. But
Most of it's subjective.
the way it hits you is always subjective.
Yep.
Guys, continue.
No, you're good. You're good. But this, I'm not. I'm gonna throw. I will potentially in the future give it another watch, but because this is based off my viewing, and I don't disagree necessarily with any of y'all's points because you're both very thorough, and they sound reasonable, very reasonable, and I can understand where they're coming from. I truly think just the opening of the movie. I hate it. It struck a nerve with me, and I think it just lasted the whole movie to where to the point that the nuances and the things that y'all were discussing, I couldn't do it because I didn't give a shit about any of these except Yuki. Except I really liked Yuki.
That's okay.
Didn't care about the rest. So
I 100% sympathize with that.
That's okay. I would say give it another watch later. In the future.
Yes. Yes.
Not anytime soon. Sit on it for a little bit. Come back to it at another time.
Yes.
But it's okay if things start out bad and tend to crawl out. It's okay if it never reaches all the way out of that hole that you're in. Like things can be so bad at the beginning that you don't have to like them if they're good at the end. Like I think that's a misconception that people have. Well, it gets better as it goes on. People say that all the time when you're like, yeah, I didn't like this fucking TV show. It's like, if you get past the first two seasons,
agree.
It's great. And it's just like, yeah, but I don't think I could be enthralled enough. Or even if I got through it, it wasn't good enough to just yank me out.
Well,
but it can entirely distance itself from its whole.
Like I said, once Yuki goes to elementary school, it definitely picked up for me. I started caring
but that
more.
just wasn't enough to send it beyond. Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
So for the purposes...
There are tons of things that I've...
Yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say there's lots of things that I'll watch and I'll realize that I've decided to not like it unconsciously as it begins, you know what I mean? Because of whatever reason. And then I'll be like, oh God, I need to try it. And then like it won't go away. I'm not saying that's necessarily the case.
No, I think purely because like you said, but Grave with the Fireflies, I went in with this expectation. This is a critical darling. I'm probably going to really like it.
Yeah.
I really loved Mirai. So maybe it may not be as good as Mirai, but I still feel like I'll probably really like it. I think that expectation and then the beginning just rubbed me such a wrong way. Basically, the combination of those two things just made my viewing experience not a good time.
I may have been lucky.
Yeah.
I may have been lucky that I never heard that it was like a moving movie. I thought it was just like
I've
sweet.
heard a ton
I thought it was just
about
a nice little pleasant family.
I'd
movie.
never heard of Mirai, but I've heard of
I
Wolf
guess I
Children
did
many times.
I got lucky, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ian, we know that you live under a rock where nothing after 1984 ever fucking
like that guy's
seeps
apartment
into your ears. Yeah, no, fucking Jared, I think a good thing, and you'll be happy to hear this, is that like the rest of the Hosoda films that we have on here, whether it be the ones that I've seen or the ones that I just know about, I think this one is going to be your least favorite. I don't know if I think, and I haven't seen every single one of them, so I can't speak on this entirely. I don't know if any of them will crack Mirai for you, but just what I know about you and the kinds of media that you like and how you feel about this one, I think this will be your least favorite.
Okay.
Like, I think you'll end up liking the three other ones that we have on here more.
Well, I'm gonna remove this diatribe from my mind so I don't go into the other movies thinking, I should probably like this more, and we end up in a cycle of cynicism.
I'm not saying they're incredible. Like, none of them will be hyped in the same way that Wolf Children is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe The girl
I
who
don't know.
loved
I've
Bhutan,
heard
but
Perfect Blue is
Summer Wars is
incredible.
Perfect Blue is Satoshi Kon though. That's the
Never
guy who
mind.
made Tokyo Godfathers.
I'm blowing it. I'm blowing it right
also,
now.
also, to Perfect Blue, there's no way you don't fucking love that. That is just literally like, I see. I've already seen it, and so like I can't remember what it goes up against. It wins. Like it's so fucking good. But yeah, I'll
Ghost
stop
in the
hyping
Shell.
it up.
We'll
But,
see. We'll see about that.
but I'm gonna say so, Jarrett. I'm not trying to assume your vote, but you're voting for.
For the purposes of this tournament, based on my
You don't have to
viewing,
justify it.
Are you,
What are you voting
Yes.
for?
No, you make- well, it's fun.
To me, it is Tokyo Godfathers by a
Sweet.
large margin.
Ian, I'll let you make your choice because you're hot off the Wolf Children presses right now.
Yes, I am. Do you have anything else to say, Jarrett?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I don't know which one I want to pick.
Damn, dude, you
yeah.
spent an hour nutting over one of them. Like
I know.
way more
I
than the
know.
other.
I know the way it affected me, but like it affected me way more than the other one, definitely. But
That's fine.
But I think that Tokyo Godfathers is really, really good. And it didn't affect me in the same way, but it wasn't supposed to affect me in the same way. It was a nice movie. And I don't think that a tear-jerker, like, because you can try to make you can try to make a tear-jerker, we'll say. That doesn't, and if it works, that doesn't make it better than a movie that's trying to be pleasant and also works.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to say.
So here's the thing.
Like, I kind of want to do the thing that you did last week.
Yeah.
I kind of want, if you vote for Tokyo Godfather, I'll just vote for the other one, just so I can, like, give it that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it deserves at least a vote.
Okay.
But
so
if I'm the deciding vote, I don't know.
okay. Well,
I have
what
to
would you?
deliver.
What would you?
Well, then, yeah, you vote first. Then you vote
if
first.
you vote first, there's no way for you to be the deciding vote unless you
I
pick
know.
Tokyo Godfathers. So if you pick Wolf Children now, you won't be the deciding vote. You can wait for it. But also, I think these are arbitrary.
If I pick,
Have
either
we-
one, I won't be the deciding vote, right?
No, if you pick Tokyo Godfathers, it doesn't matter what I pick.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, duh. Sorry.
So we've never outlined exactly how we're like we compare these
Yeah.
films. The
I know.
only reason we're discussing it is to give our points on these arbitrary qualities. And then maybe somebody's opinion gets swayed. Maybe somebody realizes something they didn't see early on. Maybe Jarrett's entirely wrong about everything he's ever said. Normal things. But whatever you want to vote on,
I don't. That's the thing.
You
I was
can
thinking
vote
about
on
it last night. I didn't know.
Sexiest Bob. You can be like, I can't tell, so Wolf Children.
Mirai wins.
Or you can just be like, I'm just feeling like
Yeah,
this
I
one
know.
right now. It's up to you, but do you want
Yeah.
to go now
Oh.
or do you want to go last?
The only thing I'm thinking about
Mhm.
about is, like, it affected, like, Wolf Children affected me so much, and I'm just wondering, like, as the rounds go on, will I still reliably be able to say, well, this one affected me, well, this one affected me, well, this one affected me?
You just gotta
Will I
watch
be
our
able to-
podcast.
like, if
get
it's-
the views up.
You
to
can
find out.
You can rewatch the movies. Also, don't be worried about
Yeah, I know,
the future
I know.
rounds here, because Tokyo Godfathers didn't affect you as much as Wolf Children. So you can go ahead and say, like, even if you're like, I don't know how much Wolf Children will continue to affect me, you know for certain if
Yeah.
it won't continue to affect over other movies, neither will Tokyo Godfathers, because you've already decided that Wolf Children affects you more.
Yeah. That's true.
It
But
also
if you're
doesn't
like-
matter. It matters what you feel right now. Don't worry about
Yes.
what's in the later bracket.
That's true.
What do you feel
Not only
right
feel
now?
what
Okay.
you think right now, because
Think,
even if
yes,
you're like,
think
I
and
feel Wolf Children, but I think Tokyo Godfathers, you can still choose Tokyo Godfathers.
Father,
I'm not
Son,
trying to
and
get
the
you to
Holy
choose.
Spirit.
I'm not trying
That's
to get
one
you
of
to
the-
choose because
that's the
I'm in the
thing,
same
it's
boat
like-
as you. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, that's
So,
what it,
like-
that's the way it feels. Is it's like, I think maybe Tokyo Godfather might be, like, all around better, but, like, that's the rift. I'm gonna go with, like what you guys said. I'm gonna go with Wolf Children,
That's fine.
just because of it. It hit me in a way that none of the other ones have. As like I had some major feelings with Mirai, but I guess this was more recent, so it's hitting me more today. So I
Yeah.
gotta go with.
I
gotta
would
go
say
with
you
Wolf
sounded
Children.
more enthusiac regarding Wolf Children.
Yes.
Than, I mean, you were enthusiastic
much
for
so.
Mirai,
Yeah.
but
I guess
Very
you
much so.
may be right, but I feel like Mirai was all around better. Mirai,
Yeah,
Mirai
but we're
had
not
more.
worried about whether or not it can go up against Mirai right now.
No,
But you're picking
yeah.
Wolf Children
Yeah.
against Tokyo Godfathers, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
but it's the same. Yeah,
Once again,
I'm
Houston.
picking Wolf Children, but I'm not sure. All right.
I've never been the deciding factor, not yet.
Oh, that's right.
Because
that's
last
right.
time you
Never
both
mind.
picked
Yeah,
Spirited
yeah.
Away, and I felt the
Yeah,
same
that's
way as
true.
you did. So the reason I'm just like so adamant about this right now is because I felt the same way last week as you did, Ian. But it didn't matter as much because you guys had already picked Spirited Away. But I was like one of those, like, I think Spirited Away is all around a better film, and I love it to death. But like I was just so fucking affected by Angel's Egg in those moments, and still I still think about that movie a good bit, and I want to go back and watch it. But you know, and I will go back and watch it once we get a little bit farther in to this bracket towards more movies. I tried to put like the ones that I had seen frequently, like closer towards the middle to the bottom, so I could start fresh. But I mean, Spirited Away, we've all seen a billion times, so I kind of just assume. But like something like Perfect Blue or Garden of Words or and The Wind Rises, shit like that I know like you guys probably have not watched over and over and over again. I try to keep that towards the bottom.
You
so
know
once we
that's
get
right.
There, once we get there, I'll probably go back and rewatch some of these for future rounds. But so I felt that same way. This week, I don't have as much of a conflict.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I think in a different watch through, I could pick Wolf Children. I really do. I think, and I almost want to pick it because I do feel a lot more affected, like you're saying, than Tokyo Godfathers, but I don't think I was as affected. And I hate this because I would hate for something that like I emotionally like connected with to get voted off out of my power. Like I've justified it for so long. And so I feel really bad right now because I'm leaning towards Tokyo Godfathers.
Yeah. No, that is good. I wanted them both to win. I wanted
Because
them. I wanted one to be
I know how you're feeling with Wolf Children, and I know that we're gonna come across this again with me and with Jarrett, probably, and in different times, even multiple times, to where like us or you even again will be so fucking moved by something, but the other two of us just
like,
weren't.
I just didn't connect in the same way.
And it's tragic because, and it wouldn't be as tragic if I didn't kind of see it, if I didn't kind of get affected by it.
Yeah.
But just not enough. And so I think I have to, because I do think it's a little bit better realized. I felt more overall with Tokyo Godfathers. It didn't hit me as hard, and the emotions didn't resonate as much, but the whole film and the characters and the writing and the themes and the humor and the sadness, it all resonated evenly with me. And Wolf Children, I went from being like, fuck this, to this is great, to like, this is really good, back and forth. And so I just can't grasp it. Though I will say, there is one part in the beginning that I do like a lot, even though I talked mad shit about the beginning. I do like right before he tells her, like, I'm a wolf, but you don't know, because he's just like, they're walking on that bridge, and he's like a few paces behind her, and he's like, hey, I have to tell you something. And they just like sit there, and he's like, I'll tell you tomorrow, and walks away. I liked that. I liked that, Jared. I know you're shaking your head. I was sitting there thinking,
ignore me. Don't worry.
Is he going to tell her he's a wolf, or is he going to tell her he loves her? Like, that's kind of what I took that as. Like, which one is he going to say?
Oh, I thought the wolf.
I mean, I know that's what it was, like, alluding to, but I was just like, I wonder which one this one is. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if he's just like...
Yeah.
Because I've been in that situation before. Have you ever been in that situation to where you go to tell someone emotionally something? Like someone that you love or care about or are crushing on, and then you just freeze up, and you're just like, like, especially, like, years ago back in high school, I would get this, like, big surge of bravery due to like the emotions that I was feeling for this person, to be like, hey, I gotta tell you, and then I'd be like, goodbye, like dumb shit like that. So like I just thought that was pretty true to life, at least to me. But yeah, that, and I loved, you know, the end, and it was really emotional, and I loved the story with Yuki, and I loved the mom's reaction to Ame and her growth, and I think the music I think everything just got better as it went on, but I think Tokyo Godfathers is a little bit more realized, and I feel really bad.
No, that's okay.
Dude,
I was a hair
feel you.
away. I was a hair away.
I'm locking that
And so-
bitch in.
I
I'm
told-
locking
I-
it in.
Yeah.
Tokyo
God damn it.
Godfathers.
This breaks my streak. I haven't not picked the winner until now.
It's just me now. We're gonna
I
get
know,
to one that
yeah.
I fucking
It's only
love.
a matter of
Yeah.
time.
All right,
and
Ian,
then
we
we're gonna,
gotta we gotta get together in secret off the pod and conspire against.
yeah, to pick against whatever you pick.
Let's go.
Why
let's go.
don't you talk first, Jarrett? Tell us whether you liked it. Tell us whether you liked it better than the other one, and then we'll decide what we want to do.
Jared, I hear you didn't like Princess Mononoke that much. It's
I'm
a
hoping
shame.
when
We
rewatching
loved
it, when we get to Mononoke, I'm hoping I like it more because yes, I was
It
very
depends on what
underwhelmed.
It
I
depends
don't
on what
think-
it's
I
up
don't know if you will.
against. I don't remember what I put it up against.
Princess Kaguya.
He doesn't seem like one
Did
of those
I?
that like.
Yes, he did.
Why the fuck would I do that?
Because they have
Hopefully
princess
you
in
come
the
up with
title.
you've had a reason for all the other ones. So hopefully you can come up
Oh,
with
I
something
know
for them.
that's exactly why, because they both had princess in the title. Like I had to put
These both
30
had Hannah characters. Yeah, we get it.
That
yeah.
was accidental. Once again, that I swear on my fucking
yeah,
life that was
sure.
accidental. Oh, dude, Princess Kaguya versus Princess Mononoke is gonna be a tough one. I'm very fucking interested to hear what you guys think, because we've already gone through Grave of the Fireflies, one Takahata film, and I've already seen The Tale of Princess Kaguya pretty recently. I remember. Do you guys remember that shit? Before we decided to do
Yes.
this, I sent you the movie, and I was like, "Hey, you both need to watch this." And
Yes.
you guys were both like, "Yeah, we'll both get on that."
Dude, we're busy,
don't
man.
remember.
Come on.
Busy doing what?
Work.
Bitch, you have
Work,
no
other
car.
shit. We got lists.
I do have a car this week.
Incredible.
I
I'm so
relinquish
happy for
it.
you.
I relinquish it tomorrow. But my car is in the shop, and if
Hell
all
yes.
goes to plan, we will get it over here.
Sweet.
I have one more comment about the movies.
All right.
Very, very quick.
I mean, dude, Ian's on fire today. I'll go.
Yeah,
we're
go for
we're
it, go for
approaching
it.
the. We're about to hit 3 hours
Oh
on
my
the
god.
recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very quick, but like I'll say that like both of the characters being named Hana in both movies helped me, because when if only like Tokyo Godfathers Hana was named Hana, I didn't know watching it whether Hana was a traditionally male name or a traditionally female name, whether she was going by her birth name or whether she had changed it. I was thinking maybe it's Hannah, maybe it's like an adaptation of an American name, or maybe that's like I didn't know whether that was traditionally male or female.
I have never heard it
Tokyo
in
Godfathers.
it specifically used as a name. I've heard it name of a person. I've heard it many times in just speaking or like
Yeah.
Anohana or just because it's just
Anohana means family for sure.
it just means flowers, you know.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
And so I don't know.
That's
It's
cool.
a good. I would assume.
Well, I mean,
probably,
but seeing it in Wolf Children seems to make me think that it is. At least,
I would lean towards female just because.
Yeah.
It sounds like a female name, and Japan is relatively, I don't want to say conservative, but at least
Gendered.
yes, they're very gendered. So
socially conservative.
Yes.
Look, honestly, fuck gender roles, but at the same time, like most places, if they subscribe or to gender roles, like would not name
All
a boy
places.
Flowers.
No.
See what I'm
yes, you're
saying?
right,
Like,
yes.
I don't think flowers are.
they're gonna be
inherently
named something
feminine.
cool like Dynamite.
I would fucking love to be named after a fucking flower. I think flowers are cool as shit, but like, yeah, they'd be
kinda
called
gay.
monster trucks or basketball.
Monster Energy.
we should go ahead and say bonjour for tonight because we've been going for like 3 hours, and so yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for watching Spaghetti Meat Boys podcast. Thanks for sticking around through all the bullshit through tonight and those other 2 episodes. If you liked this one and you haven't seen the other ones, please go back and check it out. If not, you know, you hated it, I'm so sorry, but thanks for staying till the end. Like, really appreciate that one. Just vote of confidence for giving it the old college try. You can download the bracket yourself and follow along. I didn't think I mentioned that one earlier. If you want to, you can see the full list that we're doing. You can run ahead of us. You can run behind us. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, that'll be linked somewhere. But
in the description.
In the description, yes. Jarrett, the resident in the description man. But anyway, thanks so much for sticking with us. People who I can't see or know if they're there, my parasocial friends, or the Spaghetti and Meat Boys, and or Spaghetti and Meat Boys, yeah. And we'll see you next time.
Hi. Yeah.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Hair.
Call me Peen to the een. I got lovin' in my jeans. Gordita to the crunch. I got Bell on